Hey guys, welcome to Fanfic Fanatics. So in today's video we are gonna see, what if Deku became Demon King and fell for Ameri? Part 1. Before starting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are interested in MHA fanfictions. This story is demonio entre heroes by CapLycanroc24. A woman and a green-haired boy were returning home after shopping. These were Inko Midoriya and her 10-year-old son, Izuku. Izuku, can I help you prepare the katsudon? He looked at his mother. Okay, he smiled, but you have to be careful, okay? Izuku nodded. As they continued walking, suddenly noticed something strange. The people nearby suddenly froze. Izuku, stay close. Her son looked at her, confused. But then the place around them turned colorful and they saw the culprit in front of them. A villain. Izuku, run. He saw his son. Izuku. But Inko only saw the guy extend his hand. She protected Izuku with her body, but suddenly he disappeared. What? He saw the guy who now had his son in his hand tied with a rope. Izuku. I'm sorry ma'am, but a deal's a deal. Inko ran towards her son, but the man disappeared along with Izuku. Fell to the ground. Izuku cried. 5 years later, several heroes were gathered in the city of Musudafu. A strange portal appeared in the middle of the street, and several heroes quickly arrived at the location, including some from the top ranks. They all saw the strange portal without knowing how it originated or if there was someone nearby using their quirk, but then they heard footsteps in heels that began to approach. Slowly a female figure appeared and emerged from the portal. She was a woman who appeared to be 1.90 meters tall, with reddish hair and a dress that looked like it belonged to British royalty. Endeavor. In the name of the heroes. Identify yourself or we will attack. He said, looking at the woman. Women. We are glad to meet the humans. We are here to speak on behalf of the Demon King for a treaty. The woman spoke in a firm and strange voice, which terrified and confused the heroes. Endeavor. I don't know who you are or what you're doing here, but we won't let you hurt anyone. He said, unleashing a large burst of flame at the woman. They all just watched as the flame went towards the woman, who did not move and maintained a calm expression. But before the number 2 hero's flame could reach her, another flame, equally or even more powerful, stopped her as if it were nothing. How dare he attack the queen? Everyone saw a young man with pink hair emerge, dressed in high-class clothing and with a look full of contempt and anger towards the heroes. Which angered the heroes. But then more people started leaving the portal, totaling 13 including the 2 from before. Mirko. If it's a large number, then they can't be strong. The rabbit heroine leapt towards the group, ready to deliver an axe kick, but a large wall of earth stopped her attack. Mirko. What? Who did it? He saw the heroes. Who denied it? Hawks. It seems one of his group did it, he said, watching the wall lower. Okay. My turn, he said, gaining height. But a burly blonde man leapt high and sprouted bat wings from his back, standing in front of the winged hero with a large mace in his hand. Hawks. Damn. He was hit by the mallet and sent crashing to the ground. Endeavor. What are you doing? Attack. Burning. Sir, some heroes are mesmerized by that girl. He pointed at the girl. Endeavor looked where he pointed, to see some heroes kneeling around a blonde girl, and he would swear the heroes had hearts in their eyes. Mirko's sad face, he saw the heroes. Stop being so clueless, idiots. Chomp. The rabbit heroine's scream stopped, as a kind of stuffed lizard had the upper half of the heroine in its mouth and then devoured her completely. Hawks. Is it an animal documentary? But it was also devoured by the lizard. Kamui. Hawks. Damn it. I send several branches towards the villains. But in a few seconds they were frozen along with him, the cause being a girl with light blue hair and glasses who was releasing cold air. Endeavor. Damn it, the pink-haired boy stood in front of him. Tisk. The boy simply engulfed his fists in flames before punching Endeavor, who stumbled back several meters, dragging his feet. Endeavor. Now then, kid. Shout as he lunges at him. Both fire users lunged at each other, their fists engulfed in flames connecting with each other's faces, but Endeavor was sent flying, crashing into a car. Civil. It can't be. Civil 2. Not even Endeavor can do anything against them, scared. Civil 3. Who could help us? Ha ha ha. There's nothing to fear. Do you know why? The smiles of the heroes and the people appeared upon hearing that voice. A muscular, blonde man fell in front of the red-haired girl. Because I'm already here. People shouted with joy upon seeing the number one hero. Sad face. He saw the girl. I don't like hitting women, but the fist of justice will always be unisex. Texas smash. A large curtain of earth was thrown up when the blow struck the woman. People shouted with joy as they saw that the one who appeared to be the leader of the group was defeated. Everything seemed to be fine now, but All Might had an expression of fear and astonishment. Do you have the courage to dirty my husband's favorite dress? That voice made the happiness quickly disappear. When the curtain of earth began to disappear, there they saw the redhead without a scratch and stopping the fist of the number one hero with her own hand, although the curious thing is that now the girl had white hair and with a pink aura around her. People screamed in fear when they saw that not even All Might could do anything to her. All Might could only watch as the girl prepared her fist. She threw a punch that went straight to All Might's face. Halt! Wait, Your Majesty! Shout! The girl's fist stopped an inch from the number one hero's face. Everyone saw the one responsible for the new voice. Wait, the king said they act out of fear. The girl only saw the man before looking at All Might. The girl gently released the hero's fist and the rest of her group regrouped. Reporters nearby focused on the group. In the name of the Demon King, we apologize for the panic caused. He said, ignoring the people. Actually, we would like to speak with the heroes and their superiors, if possible. He said politely. Everyone was blank. Had they heard right? Did they say that they were demons? At the UA, in a large, tense room, Director Nezu stood alongside the Prime Minister and the top 10 heroes. Nezu. Am I a mouse, a dog, a bear? No, I'm Principal Nezu, he said, raising his paw. Oh, what a wonderful creature. I would like to do some studies if you would allow me. The redhead's cough made him react. Excuse me, Your Majesty. I present myself before you. I am Shichiro Belong, Professor of Fantastic Beings from Babels. Nezu. Now I understand your emotion, she said with a smile. Hello. Now, if you could answer a few questions for me, where do you say you come from? He asked seriously and somewhat nervously, having witnessed the group's power firsthand. My child. Can't I hear our queen? Nezu. I'm afraid we don't speak that language, he said. My child. That's right, I should have guessed, he said, then snapped his fingers. A sound echoed in the place for a few seconds. My child. The floor is yours, Your Majesty, he said to the redhead. Girl. Thank you. Belong saw the heroes first. I expect an apology from you for attacking without reason. Endeavor. Attack without reason. He said angrily. Girl. You were the one who threw the first punch, she said seriously. Anyway, leaving that aside. Let me introduce myself again. I am Ameri Azazel. My companions and I come from the underworld to speak with you. The room was silent for a few seconds until they heard someone swallow, and they saw Naomasu looking somewhat frightened. Hello. Does the underworld really exist? Ameri. That's right, and we come on behalf of the Demon King to negotiate with you, he said. Kamui. Why would we negotiate with someone who killed 2 of our colleagues? Pink hair. You stupid Clara, spit them out, she said, hitting the plushie on the head. Everyone saw the plush toy named Clara spit out Hawks and Mirko, who were unharmed and peacefully asleep. Clara. Hey that hurt. He saw it. If you weren't playing games, you'd understand the situation, he said, sounding annoyed. Ameri. Hey, he saw them. Didn't my husband tell you to be in order? Both. Excuse me, they said, lowering their heads. Ameri. Excuse me for that. Getting back to the conversation, we are demons who have come to negotiate peacefully with you, he said, looking at the heroes. And what is it they want to negotiate? Ameri. Stay here, he said, surprising everyone in the room. My child. Please listen, he said, getting everyone's attention. We demons are not as bad as your stories say. In fact, until recently we thought you were a myth like you thought of us, he said, but recently our king took the throne and wants to reach an agreement with you. Minister. If I may ask, why does this king want to reach an agreement? I ask. Ameri. What is the goal of your students at this academy? Our king. like many young people, wants to be a hero, he said. That is why he requests this treaty to study at your academy. Endeavor, that makes no sense. Why would a damn demon want? His words were cut short when the burly blonde man had the edge of an axe at the back of his neck, an ice pick pointed at his throat, and a dark-haired boy pointed a gun at the hero's head. Hello, sad face. He noticed something and got scared. Excuse me, my gun, please. The dark-haired man nodded and gave it back. Ameri. Enough. The demons that attacked the hero retreated and returned to the others. I think he's seen what we're capable of, right? That annoyed the heroes a little. Besides, our king is stronger and more powerful than us. His dream of being a hero predates us by a long time, said another, slightly smaller, blonde boy. My child. Besides being a great opportunity for humans and demons to coexist, wouldn't you like to know more about us now that you know we exist? The heroes remained silent. It was true that they wanted to know more about the demons now that they knew they existed. Nezu. That sounds like a good idea, he said, drawing everyone's attention. Director, are you sure? I asked somewhat incredulously. Nezu. They are offering us a treaty of peace and peaceful coexistence. Do we accept their terms, or would you prefer to have them as enemies? I asked the heroes, who trembled at the thought of them as enemies. Nezu. But first I'd like to know something, he said, looking at the demons. I don't know how you knew about UA, but wouldn't it be strange for an older king to be in a place full of young people? My child. There's nothing to worry about. Our king turned 15 a few months ago. It surprised everyone to learn that someone so young had become king. Minister. Well, how about you summon your king? We'd like to meet him face to face to reach a better agreement, he said. The group of demons saw Ameri, who nodded, snapped her fingers, and a portal appeared behind her. It wasn't as impressive as the previous portal, but the aura it transmitted was terrifying. Ameri. Honey, the heroes want to talk to you, she said, looking at the portal. Everyone heard slow footsteps coming from the portal. Just hearing those footsteps, they knew they were worthy of presence. The heroes watched as the demons, with the exception of Ameri, knelt like knights before their king, creating a small passageway that led directly to the table where the heroes were. Everyone saw the king emerge from the portal, a young man who appeared to be 1.64 meters tall with freckles on his face. He wore a black suit with a white shirt underneath, a green tie, and a gray cape. He also had green eyes and hair, along with black horns. Attention, he exclaimed as he stood up, the demon king, Izuku Midoriya, is here. He said, then covered his face so no one would see his tears. Izuku. I told you not to make a scene here, he said, then looked at the heroes. It's a pleasure to meet so many heroes together. I wish I had brought my notebook so I could get your autographs. Oh, and a photo. Does anyone have a camera? He asked excitedly. Heroes. He's a fanboy, everyone thought, including Hawks and Mirko, who had woken up. Endeavor. Seriously, a kid's the demon king. They must have blocked Naomas's quirk or something. They're just a bunch of silly kids trying to make us believe they're demons. Screams, then looks at Ameri, and we'll arrest you for being a pedo. Suddenly the air grew heavy, the demons stood motionless with their gazes lowered. Ameri remained calm, but Izuku's expression sent shivers down the heroes' spines. Izuku walked towards Endeavor, each step causing the heroes to kneel, sweat, gasp, and their bodies to tremble uncontrollably as they kept their gaze downwards. Izuku. Mr. Endeavor, I respect you for your work as a hero, but you should control your behavior and vocabulary. Besides. The number 2 hero felt Izuku put his foot on his head, which slowly pushed him until his forehead touched the ground. Izuku. If you try to do anything against my friends, or worse, against my beloved, you'd better tell me to my face. He saw it. Now that you're in that position, I'll accept an apology. Endeavor. What is this feeling? What is this damned child? Hello. Wait a minute, I managed to react. Are you Izuku Midoriya? Inko Midoriya's son. Izuku stopped emanating that aura of death and looked at the detective. Izuku. Do you know her? Is she okay? He saw her. Hello. Yes, she informed us of your disappearance, she said. Obviously, I can't bear to lose you, but thanks to us keeping an eye on her, nothing worse happened. She's safe now at her apartment. Izuku. I see. I appreciate your help. Naomasa nodded, changing the subject. I suppose they called me about the agreement for our housing here. He sat down next to his wife. Nezu. Vera young Midor. As. He's King Izuku to you. Izuku. As. Calm down, he saw it. As. Excuse me, he said, looking down. Izuku. Continue, he saw Nezu and the Prime Minister. Minister. I find it interesting that an authority figure like yourself wants to be a hero, but my question is, why? He saw Izuku. Izuku. During my 5 years in the underworld, I learned something important. Ambition shapes people. If someone has an ambition and pursues it, they can achieve anything they want to be. Nezu. Does that include being the Demon King? Izuku nodded. Izuku. I was labeled as quirkless. I suffered bullying and abuse from those I thought were friends, but in the underworld I learned from scratch, and to survive I had to climb. My dream of being a hero was momentarily changed to wanting to be the Demon King. Izuku. I grew ambitious for that new dream. On Earth they wanted to crush my spirit and shatter my hopes. But in the underworld I grew strong and made it this far. As my beloved said, don't say your ambition is over, you still have an ambition to fulfill. The demons behind Izuku just smiled at their leader's words. Ameri blushed and kissed her husband's cheek. Minister. I see, from your words I realize what you are, a young man with a dream to fulfill. I will fulfill everything you ask of me, and I also expect some reward in return. Izuku. What do you think about learning magic? That caught everyone's attention. Aizawa. Excuse me. He looked at him, confused. Izuku. As I said, we recently discovered that humans possess magical power, he said, although of course, unlike demons, this is literally just a tiny spark. But with training, it will improve greatly, reaching the level of an average demon. Nezu. I see, sounds interesting. Izuku. For that, I plan to bring some teachers from my old Babel's academy here. They will teach the students to control their magic, he said, but of course, with one condition. They will be given an exam to ensure they don't use it for anything evil. You wouldn't want villains learning magic, would you? The heroes trembled at the thought of the villains using magic. My child. And to prevent that, I am here. I can extend my magical power throughout the academy, and my lineage magic allows me to detect lies or misdeeds by the students. Nezu. I understand. Izuku. Well, I have to go somewhere important. He got up along with Ameri. My father-in-law and my grandfather will be here in a few minutes to negotiate the terms. Nezu. Understood. Aizawa. Midnight. Mike. Those mentioned saw him give Mr. Balam a tour of the academy. They nodded. Izuku. Then, see you later. He entered a doorway with his wife, and the others followed them. Meanwhile, elsewhere, in an apartment building, Inko Midoriya was cleaning her apartment until she heard the doorbell ring. Ink. I'm coming, she said, going to the door and opening it. She saw Izuku. Izuku. Hi mom, it's been a while, she said with a smile. Ink. Aye Izuku. He cupped his cheeks. My baby. Is it really you? He looked at him. Izuku. Yes, it's me. She saw her. Ink. I thought you were. I hold back tears. Izuku. Yes, about that. Ha, Hazashi sold me to a demon, he said, and Inko looked at him. You don't seem very surprised by that. Ink. Well, I figured he had something to do with your disappearance, she said, wiping away her tears. He didn't help me with your case, and a month after you disappeared, he asked me for a divorce. Since he was in the United States, the police and the heroes couldn't investigate him. Izuku. I knew he hated me for not having a quirk, but I never thought he'd sell me to a demon for money, she said with some disgust. Ink. Yes, although I still find it hard to believe about the demon, he said, but then he saw Ameri next to Izuku. Oh, who is she? Ameri. Hello, I am, nervously. Izuku. Mom, this is my wife, Ameri Azazel, I'll introduce her. Ameri. It's a pleasure. He bowed. Ink. Wife. My baby is married to such a beautiful girl. He said, crying with joy. Wait, you guys already, you know. Izuku understood. Izuku. Of course not, we both promised not to do any of that, at least until I'm of age. Inko sighed in relief. Anyway, there's a lot I need to tell you, let's go. Ink. Yes, come in, dear, she saw Ameri. Ameri. Excuse me, I'm entering the apartment. Almost 2 hours had passed in the Midoriya apartment. During that time, Izuku spent his time telling his mother about his experiences in hell until becoming the Demon King. Izuku also tried his mother's katsudon again. Ameri was surprised to see him cry and say that it was very delicious. Izuku. And that's how we won the music festival, she said, finishing her story and then taking a sip of her tea. Ink. You've been through a lot, smiles. I'd like to meet your friends someday. Izuku. Sure, I'll bring them one day, he said. Then they heard someone knock on the door. Izuku. Oh, they must be my grandfather and Ameri's father. Ink. I'm coming. She went to the door and opened it. It's a pleasure. She saw the men and the woman beside her. Sullivan. Opera. Henri Azazel. Bakiko Barbados. Ink. Please come in, I smile. All. With permission. Everyone took a seat. Izuku. How did it go with the UA guys? He saw his grandfather. Sullivan. Very well, we now have the selected teachers who want to go to UA, he said, then watched Inko taking a seat. You must be Izuku's mother. Ink. That's right, then she saw him lower his head. Sullivan. I apologize for taking Izuku with me that day, she said with her head down. Ink laughing face. Don't worry, Izuku explained the contracts to me. I understand that I had to fulfill the contract with my ex-husband, no matter what. Sullivan. I see, smiled. Oh, how rude of me, tipped his hat. I'm Sullivan, you could say I'm Izuku's grandfather, hee. Henri. I am Henri Azazel, he introduced himself, chief of the demon police and father of Ameri, he bowed. Ink. Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you, Henri. Your daughter is a wonderful girl. Smiles. Henri. Thank you, I smile. Ink's sad face. He saw Opera. And what's your name? Opera. I am Opera, servant of Mr. Sullivan, bowed. It is an honor to meet Mr. Izuku's mother. Ink's sad face smiled. And you must be Bakiko, looked at the aforementioned girl. You're just like Izuku described you. Bakiko. I hope I said good things. Ink. Of course, he said that thanks to you he was able to win the Harvest Festival, he said, making Bakiko blush slightly. Henri. By the way, King Izuku saw him. Izuku. What's wrong? Henri made a deathly expression. Mr. Henri still not used to the fact that Ameri and I are married. Henri. He has a meeting with the 13 crowns in a few minutes. Some want to come and see the human world, so they want his permission. Bakiko. Yes, I want to see and eat the human sweets, he said. Izuku. I understand. She stood up. Then I'll be right there. She saw her mom. I'm sorry, I have to go for a few minutes. Ink. Relax, go do your duties, I smile. Also, I want to talk to Sully for a while. Izuku. Okay, now that I think about it, are my All Might stuff still there? Ink. Sure, I didn't sell anything from your room. Izuku. Thanks for taking care of them, but I think I'll sell some to get some money from here, she said. My old piggy bank should be here too. I think I had about 8,000 yen in it. She went to her room. A few minutes later, Izuku returned with some boxes rubbing behind him. Izuku. So, I'm leaving. Shall we go, Ameri? He saw her. Ameri. Oh, I'd like to talk to your mother a little longer, she said with a smile. Izuku. Okay, I'll see you later at home. A portal opened and Izuku entered, followed by Henri and Bakiko. Sullivan. Oh, I know you haven't seen Izuku in 5 years, so I brought this. Pulls out a photo album. It's full of pictures of Izuku from the last 5 years. Ink. Oh, that's great, but then she remembered something. Oh, how silly of me, I was going to clean the house but I completely forgot. Opera. Don't worry, I can do it for you. Ink. Huh, are you sure? I wouldn't want to bother you. He saw it. Opera. He said. Ink. Well, the cleaning supplies are in the right-hand cupboard. Opera nodded and went to clean. Then, I'll get the photo album from when Izuku was a baby. She went to her room. Sullivan. Jojo, it'll be great to see Izuku as a baby. Ameri's eyes lit up. Izuku felt a chill for some reason. Meanwhile in the UA, Principal Nezu, along with the UA teachers, is facing the baby's teachers. Suzy. I am Susie Stolos, demonic biology teacher. Monotony. It's a pleasure. I'm Momonoki Morax, professor of magical basics. Robin. I'm Robin Bars, and I'll be in charge of the family classes. It's a pleasure. Street. Nibirius Caligo. It's a pleasure, he bowed. P. Mike Y. Midninth. Reminds me of Aizawa. Grind. I'm Shida. I'm not in charge of any subject, so you can put me in whichever one you like. Nezu. So, with Mr. Belong, that would be everyone, right? Everyone nodded. Good. Your dormitories are ready, you can go and unpack. When the students' dormitories are ready, we will introduce you. All. Excuse me, they left. Days later, classes A and B were in front of the new UA dormitories. Aizawa. Very well, before you enter there is something we must tell you. He looked at his students and Vlad's. Do you remember the strange group that appeared in Musudafu? Mine. Those who called themselves demons. Vlad. Well, it turns out they really are demons, he said, surprising everyone. Before you say anything, they're not what we thought they were. Aizawa. They made a peace treaty with the Prime Minister, and the Demon King will enter a heroism class. Iida. I understand, but a king studying at UA. Kaminari. Wouldn't it be strange for an adult to be in a classroom full of young people? Aizawa. Their king is 15 years old. A portal appeared beside him just in time. Everyone saw Izuku and Ameri leave with suitcases. Vlad. They arrive late, he saw them. Izuku. Sorry, we had to go get some things. Looked at the classrooms. It's a pleasure. I'm Izuku Midoriya and from today I will study with you. Ameri. I am Ameri Midoriya Azazel, Izuku's wife. She introduced herself. Everyone. Bakugo. A pleasure. Bakugo. Deku. He took a few steps towards him. Izuku's sad face. He saw him. Bakugo. It's been a while. Bakugo. Where the hell were you? Izuku. My father sold me to a demon and I spent 5 years living in hell. He said simply. Aizawa. Anyway, he will be studying with you starting today. Izuku. Even though I am the Demon King, please treat me like one of your own kind. I smile. Vlad. Go inside and unpack. You have the rest of the day free. Tomorrow we will introduce the new teachers. Kendo. New teachers. Izuku. Some teachers from my old academy in the underworld, he said, surprising everyone. Aizawa. We have things to do. We'll see you later and show you the new class schedule, she said as she left with Vlad. Everyone saw the bedroom door open and saw the pink-haired boy confront Endeavor. As. Mr. Izuku, your room is ready, he said, approaching Izuku. Izuku. You know I don't want a penthouse, right? All. Penthouse. As. But you deserve a room worthy of you, she said smiling. Izuku. Yeah, phew. Something bumped into him. Clara looked down. Everyone saw a green-haired girl wearing what looked like a lizard costume. Clara. Izukuchi, let's play. Izuku. I have some things to do, we can play later if you want. Clara. Yes. I smile. Ameri. I separate Clara from Izuku. If you'll excuse us, we need to prepare our room. Clara's sad face, she pouted. Red always pushes Izukuchi aside, it's not fair. Ameri. Because we have to prepare our room. Besides, I'm his wife, she said jealously, showing her ring. Clara. Well, I'm her first best friend. They both stared at each other jealously. Izuku. Why do women fight so much? As. He saw Clara and Ameri. As. These are mysteries of life, Don Izuku, he said. All. He's married and doesn't realize it, they thought with a drop of sweat. As. So, let's help with your equipment. Alice. As went blank. They all turned around and saw the one responsible for the voice. The boys blushed just at the sight of her. Amaryllis Asmodeus AMU. As. Mom. What are you doing here? Amu. They were curious about the dresses humans make, so I asked permission to come. I saw the class. It's a pleasure. I am Amaryllis Asmodeus, the pillar of lust and one of the 13 crowns. All. Hello, surprised. Amu. Come on Alice, I take Az by the arm. Paimon is waiting with Miss Kayama, she'll take us to see some shops. Az. Wait, I have to help Mr. Izuku. But he was taken away by his mother. Izuku. Hee. Clara. Could you accompany as? He saw her. Clara. Yes. He followed Amu. A few hours later, in the Class A department, everyone had finished unpacking and was now resting in the common room. Uraraka. So what do you think about Midoriya? Yaoyorozu. I find it hard to believe they are demons, especially that he rules them. Kirishima. But I don't think Aizawa-sensei is lying to us, so they must be demons. Mine. I arrive with them. Hey, are you all done unpacking? Everyone nodded. We were thinking of having a contest to see who has the best room. Some looked blank. They spent several minutes looking at the boys' and girls' rooms except for Minetta's room. Now they were standing in front of Izuku and Ameri's room door. Suyu. I don't think we should bother them with this, Hiro. Mine. Come on, aren't you curious what the Demon King's room will be like? Knocks on the door. Izuku. He opened the door. Yes. He saw everyone. Mine. Hi, I'm Mina Ishido. We're having a contest to see who has the best room. Do you want to participate? Iida. We'll understand if you refuse. Izuku. Oh, sure, go ahead, I'll let them in. Everyone entered and was surprised when they entered, as the room looked more like a large apartment merged with the lobby of a luxury hotel. Hagakure. How gorgeous. Mine. How big and shiny. Sick. It looks like a hotel lobby. She saw a piano. What a beautiful piano. She went over to look at it. Yaoyorozu. The furniture is beautiful. She saw the red and green velvet furniture. Kirishima. It even has a balcony. He saw the balcony. Sato. It even has a kitchen and it looks great, she said, looking at the kitchen. Siro. The bed is enormous. She saw the big bed. Minutes. I'm sure it's so he can do it with that her. Siro covered her mouth with tape. Izuku. I'm glad you like it. Mine. I think it's obvious who won. Hihi. Several nodded. Izuku. Well, if you don't mind, we'd like to rest. It's been a very busy day for us. Ameri hugs him and strokes his hair. Iida. Sure, we'll retire, let them rest. Everyone left the room. Ameri. They seem to have good potential, but I think they need more training. Will Principal Nezu let me train them? Izuku trembled at the thought. Izuku. Well, you'll talk to him later. I smile nervously. Right now I just want to rest with my kitty. I rub her a little and kiss Ameri. Ameri. Okay, let's rest. I smile. Class A was walking until they arrived in front of Caligo Street. I'm Caligo Nibirius, he introduced himself. Like Aizawa, I'll be in charge of some classes from time to time, he said. Iida. What will we do today, Professor Caligo? He said, raising his hand. Street. Today they will invoke their relatives, he said, drawing everyone's attention. Suyu. Family. Hero. Street. They are magical beasts that will be at your service. He said, taking out some scrolls. You must draw a circle of blood on the scrolls, then go to the magic circle on the ground, he said, showing the place. Place the scroll on the candle in the magic circle and then your familiar will appear. Mine. A circle of blood. He trembled slightly. Street. If you're afraid of a little blood, then why do you want to be a hero? He looked at her. You'll see blood and worse on your path to heroism. So if you're afraid of a little blood, you'd better leave the heroism class. He said, making some tremble. Who wants to start? Iida. Excuse me, Professor, but I see that Midoriya isn't here. Street. Izuku has already taken these classes, and as the Demon King, he has mastered all spells perfectly. He will use these free hours for his duties in the underworld and will be present in the hero classes. Well, he saw them. Uraraka. I want to do it. He stepped forward and took a needle that Caligo handed him, drew some blood from his finger and drew the circle on the parchment. Uraraka. Here I go. I bring the parchment close to the candle and it begins to burn. Everyone just saw smoke coming out, and when the smoke was gone, everyone saw a cat, but this one was twice the size of a normal cat and had the colors of Uraraka's hero costume. In addition to having bat wings on its back and on its front paws, it had a kind of wristbands identical to those on Uraraka's costume. Street. So the relatives of humans look more like the animals of their world, she said, taking notes in a notebook. Everyone started summoning their familiar. The most striking were Todoroki's. It was a cat that was half ice and half fire, with horns. Ashido's looked more like a slime from video games, but this one seemed to be able to take the form of whatever it wanted. This one was now like a small bird on Mina's shoulder. Yaoyorozu's was a hamster that was twice the size of a normal one. It had a kind of kangaroo pouch attached to its torso, and curiously it also had its owner's hairstyle. Suyu's was a frog, combined with a ninja. Street. Okay, that's everyone, he said, finishing writing it down. Iida. Excuse me, Professor, if I may ask, what is your family member like? Street sad face, he saw it. I don't exactly have a relative, but okay, I'll show them to you. They were all covered in a glow and then they saw their teacher's relative. Yaoyorozu. A Cerberus, impressed. Kaminari. Incredible. Hagakure. Oh, and what's Midoriya's like? Street. Let him show them to you, anyway. Go to your next class, she said as she left. They all went to their next. When they entered the room, they were surprised to see that it looked like a very large greenhouse. Suzy. Nice to meet you all. Heroism class approached. Here we will learn demonic biology. I am Suzy Stolos and I will be in charge of this class. All. It's a pleasure. Suzy. Since they don't have much magical power yet, we'll do something simple. He approached a table where there were several pots with some sprouts. Suzy. Today we will make these flowers bloom with their magic power. Kirishima. With our magic power. Suzy. Extend your hand and send your magic power towards the plant, he said, extending his hand to the flower pot, and say, quack quack. Everyone saw a glow cover the flower pot, then after a few seconds everyone saw the flower. Suzy. Pretty, isn't it? I pick up the flower pot. All. She looks like her. Suzy. This flower can give shape to your magical power, go ahead. Sick. Even so, how do we use our magic power? Suzy. It won't be easy for you. Unlike demons, humans' magical power is just a tiny spark. I take Jiro's hands, imagine using your quirks. Suzy began to unleash her magic. Sick sad face feels the magic of Suzy. Wow. It feels warm, like warm water passing over my body. Suzy. Exactly, I let her go. Sick. I think I understand. He extended his hand and concentrated, quack quack. Everyone saw Jiro's flower pot, but it didn't change. Zero. Nothing happened. Suzy. The trick is to imagine the result. Imagine what kind of flower you want. Go for it. Jiro saw his flower pot and reached out his hand. Sick. What kind of flower do I want? Maybe. Quack quack. The flower pot spun brightly. Then after a few seconds they saw a purple flower, but the curious thing is that its center looked like a speaker. Suzy. They learn quickly, I smile. After a few minutes of trying, several already had their flowers. Bakugo's was a red flower, but curiously its petals had the shape of a pomegranate. Aoyama's, a bright flower. Kaminari's was spewing electricity. Ojiro's was wearing a karate suit and throwing punches in the air. The one with the Zero flower had ribbon instead of petals. Suzy. Good job, you guys really do learn fast, smiles. Mine. Professor, how was Midoriya's flower? Raised her hand. Suzy. Oh, he created a giant tree, he said, surprising everyone. I think you know them as cherry trees. Mine. A giant cherry tree. Surprised, I'd like to see it. Hagakure. Me too. Suzy. I'll look for a photo later, smiles. Let's continue with the class. Now everyone was in the next class. Monotony. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm Momonoki Morax, he introduced himself. Welcome to the Magic Basics class. Today we will practice transformation magic. Then I take out a frog in a jar. Ojiro. We won't do anything serious to the frog, will we? Koda was frightened at the thought. Monotony. No, don't worry, I smile. What we're going to do won't harm the frog. You must cast the spell on the frog and change its color. Monotony sad face, he extended his hand towards the frog. The incantation is Churusal. Smoke surrounded the frog, and then it changed color from green to purple. Monotony. Anyone want to try? Everyone took their turn changing the frog's color. Monotony. And if you're wondering, the enchantment isn't just for changing the color of a frog. He saw Mineta crouching down trying to see under the girls. It's also for this. She cast the spell with her wand and Mineta turned into a frog. Kaminari. Wow, saw Mineta. Minutes. Sewer. He looked scared. After a few seconds, it returned to normal. Monotony. I will not allow inappropriate behavior in my class, understood? He looked at Mineta seriously. Minutes. Why yes. She nodded quickly. Then they attended the Balam class, where they learned about some beasts of the underworld and the differences with those of the human world. Then Robin's class, where they spent time with their families. And finally, a combat class against Sheeta without quirks. Luckily she held back a lot. Meanwhile, in the underworld, Izuku was entering his room tired after a meeting with the 13 crowns. He fell flat on his bed, then after a few seconds Ameri came in and saw him. Ameri. A lot of work. She sat down next to him. Izuku. Yes, Principal Nezu told me that the UA Sports Festival is coming soon. He stood up a little. The 13 crowns heard about it and want to go see it. Princess Shura too. Ameri. Really? He stroked her hair. Izuku. Yes, ever since he learned that there are heroes, he wants to go and see them. Ameri. I understand. Hey, I know you're tired but I pull out a manga called Memory of First Love, could we read it? Izuku. I thought you already understood human language. She saw it. Ameri. Yes, but I like it better when you read it with me, she said blushing, playing with her hair. Izuku. Okay, I pick up the manga. Now that I think about it, I should take you to a manga store. There might be more that catch your eye. I look at it. Ah. Ameri. Ameri. Are there more manga? Izuku nodded. I want to get more. Izuku. Okay, then I'll take you to a store. Smiles. Izuku and Nezu were in the latter's office having some tea. Nezu. We already have the private room so that their guests can watch the sports festival, she said, placing her cup on the table. Izuku. Thank you, director. He smiled. Nezu. There are also some robot servants, but tell me, why are you telling me to be very respectful to that Shura princess? Izuku. I suppose I can tell you, she's from the Majin tribe. Nezu. Majin. Curious. Izuku. They are a superior race that controls the underworld, he said, surprising him. Nezu. I thought that you, as the Demon King, controlled the underworld. Izuku. In a way, yes, but Nezu. Wow, they must be an amazing race. Izuku. That's why they must be treated with absolute respect, especially Princess Shura. Nezu. I understand, he nodded. The day of the festival. The teachers and Principal Nezu, along with Izuku and Henri, were in one of the stadium's corridors when a portal opened in front of them, and the 13 crowns began to emerge. Paimon. The fairy queen, Paimon introduced herself with a bow. Amaryllis. The pillar of lust, Amaryllis Asmodeus. Bakiko. The top goalkeeper, Bakiko Barbados. Mephisto. Amaimon. The lord of the 4 cardinal points, Amaimon. Levi. Of the big 3, Levi Lady. Belial. Of the 3 great ones, Belial. Izuku. I'm glad you were able to come. Nezu. Weren't there 13? Bakiko. Some decided to stay and watch the event at home. Izuku. Well, in the end I told them that coming was optional. What about my grandfather, Levi? He stayed in Babel's to prepare everything for the students to see the festival. Izuku nodded. Nezu. Well, we're glad to have them here. Then all the demons and Izuku knelt down. All the teachers saw some chubby guys come out, forming a circle with their bodies. Who are they? Then Nezu knelt down and the others followed suit. Izuku. I'm glad you could come. The guys stepped aside. Princess Shura. Everyone saw some flowers bloom near Shura, and words began to emerge from the center of them. Shura. I'm glad to see you, Demon King Izuku. He smiled and extended his hand. Izuku. I agree. I took her hand and kissed it. I hope you enjoy the UA Sports Festival. Shura. I received the sweets and human food he sent me, everything was delicious. Izuku. I'm glad you liked them. I must go now as I will also be participating, he said. The robots will bring you everything you ask for. Shura. I wish you luck at this festival. Izuku bowed and left. Henri. This is our room for watching the festival, he said, guiding the demons to the room. Meanwhile, in another room. Ameri. This way, mother-in-law, she said, guiding Inko. Ink. You know you can call me, Mama, or just Inko if you want, hehe. They both went inside and there they saw Izuku's other friends. Ameri. Attention, everyone saw her, she is Inko Midoriya, Izuku's mother. It's an honor to meet you, Mrs. Midoriya. I'm Alice Asmodeus, Mr. Izuku's right-hand woman. She introduced herself. Clara. I'm Clara, she said in front of Inko, Izukuchi's best friend. Ink. Nice to meet you, Izuku told me a lot about you guys, smiles. The other two girls approached. Elizabeth. I'm Elizabeth X, it's a pleasure, the blonde girl introduced herself, you look very beautiful, Miss Inko smiled. Garori. I'm Karori Cressel, it's a pleasure to meet you, said the girl with glasses. Ink. Nice to meet you, you are all very pretty too, hehe. The dark-haired man and the lion-like man approached. Alliker. Alliker Schneider, it's a pleasure to meet you, ma'am. Jazz. Jazz M. Andro. Nice to meet you, sorry, here, shows the Inko bag. Ink. When I take her bag, Jazz. Excuse me, sometimes I do it unintentionally, scratches the back of his neck. Garp. I'm Garp Gomon, nice to meet you, said the feathered one. This is Agara's Paisaro, he said, bringing the boy with the sleep mask with him. Agara's sad face, yawn, nice to meet you. Sabnok. Sabro Sabnok, it's a pleasure to meet my rival's mother, said the tall blonde man. Person. Soy person, nice to meet you, said the pink, purple-haired boy. Lied. Shax lied, it's a pleasure, said the other blonde man. Kamui. Came Kamui, it's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Midoriya, said the bird, bowing. Then they heard Page Mike's voice. Small p. Attention everyone. The UA Sports Festival is about to begin. In the waiting room of Classroom 1A. Mine. Oh dear, I wanted to wear my suit, he said, wearing his sports uniform. Ojiro. To make everything fair, we can't use it, he said. Sato. I wonder what the first round will be like. Tokiyami. No matter what comes, we have no choice but to deal with it. Shoji. That's how it is. Iida. Hey guys, are you ready? We're going in a bit. Todoroki. Midoriya approached him, looking at things objectively. You're the strongest of everyone here, but I'm going to defeat you. Izuku. Well, from what I understand, your quirk is ice-based, and I've met ice demons before, so I hope you learn some spells in Momonoki's class. I smile a little scarily, because I assure you, you're going to need them. Todoroki just looked at him seriously. At the stadium. Small p. Hey, attention, audience. The audience shouted excitedly, crowd, mass media. The teen rodeo of this school that everyone loves, the UA Sports Festival, is about to begin. Everybody, are you ready? It's time for the students to take the stage. After they introduced themselves to the classes. Small p. And before we begin the events, we have an announcement. Remember that strange group that appeared in Musudafu City? Well, they're real demons, he said, surprising the audience, but don't worry. The Demon King and the Prime Minister have made a peace treaty. Small p. Their king wanted to study at UA, so we accepted the terms. Some of his old teachers are even teaching here. In fact, right here with me and my mummy friend is Professor Caligo Nibirius from the demonic Babel School. Street. What am I supposed to do? He saw Aizawa. Aizawa. Just play along, he said. Street. It's a pleasure to be here, he said simply. Small p. Some Babel's teachers also decided to be obstacles in this event, so students, I hope you paid attention to the demonic classes, because you're going to need them. Let's get back to you, Midnight. Midninth. It's time for the player's oath. Some men were mesmerized watching Midnight. Amaryllis. An R-rated hero. I'm curious, will you lend me your costume? Az felt a chill. Midninth. Silence, everyone. Representing the students of Class 1A, Katsuki Bakugo. Bakugo took the stage and also, a few words from the ruler of the underworld, the Demon King Izuku Midoriya. Izuku took the stage. Audience. Is he the Demon King? He looks very young. Izuku. You can start your, saw Bakugo. Bakugo. I swear, I will be number one. Everyone fell silent. Students. What the hell? Don't be so cocky, Class A. Bakugo. At least become a good stepping stone to jump onto. Midninth. Thank you for those words. Ahem, now a few words from Izuku Midoriya. Izuku approached the microphone. Izuku. Well, I just have to say that everyone should do their best, smiles Oh, and also that in the underworld they're watching the sports festival, turns to the students, so I hope you can impress the demons. Izuku. And for those who don't believe I'm the Demon King. I apologize for this. Then an enormous pressure and fear was felt throughout the place, and everyone would know who it came from. Izuku's sad face. I stop emanating that pressure. I must also say that we demons are somewhat greedy, so I assure you I'll go for the win. I smile Oh, and also, an idol from the underworld will give a concert when the festival is over, so I hope you like it. Midninth. Thank you for your words. Izuku and Bakugo return to their group. Now, let's begin right now. The first game is what we call a knockout round. Midninth. Every year, many drink their tears here. Now, here is the fateful first game. A screen appeared behind her and showed a spinning roulette wheel. This year, it's this. The roulette wheel stopped. Obstacle course. Midninth. All 11 classes will participate in this race. Midninth M. The main selling point of this school is freedom. As long as you stay on track, you can do whatever you want. Now, everyone to your places. All the students went to the starting line, waited for the countdown, and when the last light went out. Midninth. Start. Everyone started running. Small P. All right, here's the narration. Are you ready, mummy man? Aizawa too. He looked at Aizawa. Aizawa, you were the one who forced me to come. Street. Aizawa too. Confundido. Small P. Let's begin. What should we pay attention to in the early stages? Aizawa. At this moment. At the exit, everyone was squeezed together due to the limited space, until the ground froze. Todoroki. I'm sorry, but I'm in a hurry, he said running. But then, Yaoyorozu, how naive, Todoroki. Bakugo, I won't let you escape so easily. You half bastard. He propelled himself with his explosions. Todoroki. Apart from Class A, more people than I expected were able to avoid it. Then he saw Mineta using his spheres to jump across the ice. Minutes. Outsmarted your trap, Todoroki. How pathetic. Take this. Gra. Then Mineta was hit by a robot. Robot. Many targets located. Small P. Obstacles have appeared, starting with the first barrier. Clara. Wow, they're big. She said excitedly, I want to play with one. As. You have to stay here. I hold her back, preventing her from leaving. Ameri. They are big, aren't they? Surprised. Kaminari, aren't they the villains who get 0 points on the entrance exam? Todorokizo, this is what they used in the general entrance exam. Yaoyorozu, I wonder where they get the money for that. Todoroki, if they went through all this trouble, I wish they had prepared something better. A large amount of ice was sent against one of the 0 points, since my dad is watching. The giant robots were frozen, and Todoroki kept running. Students, he stopped them. Between his legs. We can pass. Todoroki, I wouldn't do it if I were you. I froze them when they were unbalanced. The robots started to fall. They're going to fall. Small P. Todoroki from Class A. He attacked and defended in one hit. Incredible. He's the first. He taps the table a little. It's, practically unfair. Aizawa. Their actions are logical and strategic. Street. And his handling of ice is good, almost like the ice demons in the underworld. Small P. As expected from someone who got in through a recommendation. The robots began to approach the other students. Then they all noticed a glow among them and saw Izuku with a glowing bow. Yaoyorozu. A bow. I don't think that'll do. Izuku. You're forgetting something, aren't you? Momo saw it, that I have magic power. He smiled. Then they saw that the arrow multiplied 4 times. Izuku. I have to show off what my teacher taught me, 4 accurate shots. Shot. I fire the arrows that go straight to the heads of 4 0 points, destroying them on impact. Bakiko. Hey, not bad, smiled. Ink. Via, sorprendida. Shura. Amazing, he said, watching what Todoroki and Izuku did. With that, Izuku continued running, and several others also advanced. Bakugo flew and launched an explosion towards the head of one of the 0-point bears, managing to get through. Small p. Hey, hey, hey. Was the first test really easy? What do you think of the second one? Uraraka, Mina, and Tsuyu arrived at a forest. Small p. The demonic forest. Uraraka. When did they do this? But then they were frightened when they saw something crash near them. Tsuyu. Hero, a rubber bullet. He saw the bullet. Then they saw the person responsible for the shooting in the background. Suzy. Don't think this will be easy, I will show no mercy. Mine. Teacher Suzy. Surprised. Small p. What can you tell us about the new teacher? He saw Caligo. Street. Suzy Stolos has incredible control over plants, so good is her control that she is known as the mother of plants, she said. I hope you paid attention in your classes. Some advanced while using some trees for cover, but despite taking cover from the bullets. There were also some giant roots that grabbed some students and dragged them back to the edge of the forest. Todoroki. This is complicated. He launched his ice, managing to freeze one of the machine gun plants. Suzy. Oh, good move. Then he saw the other plant recharge. Taking advantage of that, Todoroki managed to get past Suzy. Suzy. Looked up. Seeing Bakugo flying, pointed the plants at him, fire. Shot. Bakugo. Damn it, he said while trying to dodge the bullets. He launched an explosion towards one of the plants. Step. Suzy's sad face. More machine gun plants appeared. Well, I still have more students. He continued firing at the others in the forest. Then a green dragon destroyed one of the plants. Izuku. Excuse me, he stepped aside and continued running. Small p. The first one is far away, but everyone behind him is crammed together. They haven't announced how many people will qualify yet, so they can't relax. Go for it. Todoroki came to a path that had a roof, and at the end of the path he saw Master Momonoki. Small p. We've reached the final obstacle. The path of endurance. Announcement. I hope you paid attention in the Momonoki lessons, because you'll need it in this town. Aizawa. Tell us, what does Momonoki Morax specialize in? He saw Caligo. Street. Small p. So he's got a full arsenal, huh? Street. That's how it is. Monotony. I have to do my best. Professor Caligo is watching me. She saw Todoroki start to move forward. Monotony. Which one should we start with? I smile. Todoroki sent his ice to shield himself from the attack, but it was cut like butter by the wind blades. Todoroki. Tisk. Great. A magical barrier covered him, protecting him from the attack. It really is strong. He continued advancing while maintaining. Great, I see, this is an obstacle that puts those at the front at a disadvantage. They're trying to make this entertaining, huh? Asterisk. Bakugo. Move it, half and half. He steps aside, but when he saw a lightning bolt heading towards him, he also used, great. Bakugo. Damn, he kept moving forward. Monotony. Not bad at all. But I hope they've learned how to protect themselves from other effects. Then both boys started rubbing. Todoroki. Gravity magic. He looked behind him and noticed more people rubbing, so it's all over the field. They all stopped rubbing, then used, great, to shield themselves from various attacks. Bakugo. How annoying. Small p. Who will arrive first? And more importantly, do they still have the strength to run? But then everyone noticed something happening underground, managing to get past Todoroki and Bakugo. Monotony. What? A kind of giant arm emerged from the ground, and they saw what looked like a humanoid rabbit with large ears that resembled arms. Small p. A rabbit came out of the ground. That's Clara. Izukuchi's relative. Excited shout. The familiar, with its other ear, threw Izuku towards Momonoki. She aimed at him, but Izuku threw a smokescreen in front of her. Izuku. Thank you, he said to his familiar as he passed Momonoki. Leave a name for the familiar if you want. Small p. Izuku Midoriya of Class A advances thanks to his familiar. Excited shout. Street. Familiars are magical beasts that serve their master, he told the audience. I think you forgot to mention that you could use them, he said. Some students called on their families. Todoroki and his familiar managed to get through by creating a path and ice shields alongside. Great. Bakugo's familiar, which was like a dog with horns and grenades on its back, threw grenades at Momonoki, distracting her and allowing them to pass. Small p. Bakugo and Todoroki managed to get through and quickly advanced to catch up with Midoriya. Eraser, what did you teach them? Aizawa. I didn't do anything. Street. You could say they lit themselves up, he said. P. Mike. On the freshman stage at the UA Sports Festival. Aizawa and Caligo, are you ignoring us? Small p. Who would have predicted this result at the start? Now, the first man to step onto the pitch. Small p. Izuku Midoriya Paris. The crowd roared with excitement. Inc. Izuku, crying with joy. Ameri. Well done, Izuku. She said cheerfully. Sabnok. Just as expected from my rival. Az and Clara. Don Izuku Izukuchi. Allegris. Izuku's friends. Well done. Izuku, I did it. Heavens, I think I should exercise more like Ameri said, he said, sounding tired. Then the others began to arrive. Bakugo, shit. I hit the ground. Todoroki just looked at Izuku and then left. After a few minutes, Midninth, the top 42 have advanced to the next round. It's a shame if you didn't make it, but don't worry. We've prepared other opportunities for you to shine. The real competition starts now. Midninth, all the press will be present. Give it your all. The roulette wheel started spinning. Now, here's the next game. I already know what it is, but what will it be? What will it be? As I said, here it is. The roulette wheel stopped. Cavalry battle. In Izuku's friend's room. Ameri. Excuse me, he stood up under Inko's gaze. Ink. Huh, where are you going, Ameri? He saw her. Ameri. I'll help with the next test. I'll be right back, she said with a smile as she left. Midninth, a cavalry battle between the top 42 students. Those at the top will suffer the most. You'll hear this a lot when you go to UA. This is what plus ultra means. Midninth, Izuku Midoriya is worth 10 million points. Or so I would say, but remember that our new teachers are also participating in these tests. Midninth. So, here she is. Everyone saw someone walk onto the stage, the former student council president of Demon Babel's Academy and the Demon Queen. Ameri Midoriya Azazel. Students. The Demon Queen. Wait, is she Midoriya's wife? Surprised. Everyone saw Izuku, who had a smiling face. Izuku. It's been a while since I've seen her in uniform. It still looks great on her, she thought with a smile. Midninth. Miss Ameri will have the 10 million points. You could go against her and try to take them, but obviously it won't be easy, he said, handing the armband to Ameri. But if you can't beat her, Midoriya Izuku will still have 5 million points. So choose wisely who you go against. Midninth, now I'll explain the rules. The screen lit up. The time limit is 15 minutes. Each team is worth the total points of its members, and the riders will wear a headband with that number. The teams will try to take the other team's headbands before time runs out and try to keep as many points as they can. Midninth, the stolen bands must be worn around the neck, so the more you steal, the harder they are to handle. He said, and most importantly, even if your band is stolen or your gear falls off, you're not out. Bakiko. Interesting, he said, eating a cake. Shura. It sounds exciting, she said, clasping her hands together. Amu. Without a doubt, smiled. Clara. Sounds fun, she said excitedly. As. You stay here, she stopped her. Lied. I wonder who Izuku will have on his team, he said curiously. Elizabeth, I can't wait to see them. Carol. I wonder who they will attack, Izuku's team or Ameri's. Sabnok. It will be quite a battle to get the 5 or 10 million. Type, which means, Sato, since there are 42 of us, will there be 10 or 12 teams on the field at all times? Aoyamate's hard. Mania strategy that allows someone to take your points first, thus giving you more freedom. Suyut's hard to say without seeing how they'll end up distributing the points, Minakiro. Midninth, during the game, it will be a brutal battle where you can use your quirks, but it will still be a battle of the cavalry. You will receive a red card for attacks that intentionally attempt to knock others down. You will be removed immediately. Bakugo. Shit, Midninth, now, you have 15 minutes to form your teams. Begin. Everyone was forming their teams, although Izuku was alone. Izuku. I guess nobody wants to try to hold on to the 5 million, he thought until he saw Ameri approaching. Ameri, do you already have a team? He saw it. Izuku. Not yet, he said. Ameri. Well, I just want to tell you that there won't be any kind of favoritism. He tied the headband around his head. Izuku. Of course I know you take these things seriously, smiles. Ameri. Then, good luck. Izuku. See you later, kitty. Ameri pulled her cheeks. Ah. Ameri. Don't say those things in public. Izuku nodded and she let go of him. See you later. She left, blushing slightly. Izuku. That gives me an idea. Uraraka Midoriya, let's team up, she said, arriving with him. Izuku, are you sure? I'm sure everyone's after me for the 5 million points. Uraraka, if we run away all the time, then we'll win, right? Izuku, I think you're overestimating me, Uraraka. Uraraka, as if I would. Anyway, it's better to team up with people you get along with. She said, smiling. Izuku Sanryo. They tried to recruit Iida, but he refused, seeing Izuku as a rival. Just as I thought, this is great. You stand out. All three of them saw it. Izuku. That's close. Who are you? He saw the girl with pink hair. Hatsume. I am Hatsume Mei, from the support course, introduced herself. Uraraka, oh, that strange person from before. He remembered her during the second test. Hatsume, I don't know you, but let me use your position. Izuku, she is honest. Hatsume, sad face, say, I'm getting closer. If I team up with you, then inevitably I'll be part of the team that everyone will see more, right? Hatsume. Besides, you're the Demon King, and you said that even in the underworld they watch the festival, right? Izuku nodded, so maybe the demons would be interested in my babies. Hatsume, my super babies will inevitably be seen by big companies too. In other words, that means those big companies will see my babies. Uraraka, wait a minute, babies and big companies. What are you saying? Hatsume, and I think it will be beneficial for you, he said to Izuku. Uraraka, she's not paying attention to me. Asterisk. After Hatsume demonstrated several of her inventions, they went to find the last member of her team. Izuku. I know, approached someone and grabbed their shoulder. You. Time had run out. Midnight now, it's almost time to begin. Small P. Wake up. Eraser. He woke his friend and Caligo arrived with 3 glasses. Oh, where were you? Street. I went for demonic tea. He gave them the glasses. Aizawa. She saw the tea with black smoke coming from it. It doesn't smell bad. She tasted some. It's good. P. Mike. Finally, after 15 minutes to form teams and discuss their strategy, 12 cavalry teams line up on the field. Aizawa, there are some interesting teams. He saw the teams. Small P. Now, prepare for the battle tiers. It's time for the bloody battle of UA. Give the signal. Public. Yes. Small P. Okay. You've all made your teams, right? I won't ask if you're ready or not. Now, let's go. The countdown to the bloody battle royale. 3. Bakugo. Our goal is, small P. Of the Todoroki. Only one. Small P. 1. Midnight. Start. Then several teams went against Izuku's team and against Ameri. Hagakure, haha. Midoriya, I'll keep it. Tokiyami. An attack without delay. The fate of the pursued. Uraraka, destination. Tokiyami, make your choice. Midoriya. Hatsume. Choice. Midoriya, of course. Our plan is to flee. Tetsu, basically, it's a battle for 5 and 10 million. Ameri. So they're coming in strong, He got into position, but then he felt himself sinking. Ameri. I see. He saw the responsible team. Ameri. Good. Everyone saw her sprout a large pair of wings. Everyone saw it rise at great speed. Tetsu. Damn, she's fast. She saw her. Izuku and his team were fleeing until they were surrounded. Izuku. Okay, here we go. Ready. The other teams were approaching, until everyone saw Izuku's team surrounded by smoke. Small P. Oh, a smokescreen. Street. It's a distraction. Look up. Small P. Sad face. I notice Izuku's team flying. The smoke screen was a distraction to make them fly away. Hagakure. Sick. I know. I stretch my jacks towards them, but dark shadow blocks them. Tokiyami. Tokoyama, that's how it's done. Dark Shadow. Keep watching our blind spots. Dark Shadow. Understood. Izuku, that was incredible. The defense we were missing. You're the best for it with your omnidirectional mid-range defense. Amazing. Tokiyami. Tokiyami. You were the one who chose me, Your Majesty, he said mockingly. Uraraka. We're landing, he said. They landed thanks to Hatsume's boots. Izuku, I'll make everyone lighter than Uraraka, thanks to her quirk and my magic. Our weight will only be Uraraka's, plus her equipment and clothes. Asterisk. Hatsume, what do you think of my babies? Aren't they cute? Looked at Izuku, beauty can be created, you know. Izuku, excellent mobility. Your babies are amazing, Hatsume. Hatsume. True, Uraraka. It's because I'm making them float, she said softly. Small p now. Even though only 2 minutes have passed since we started, it's already a free-for-all. Fights for the top spots are raging everywhere. Ignoring the 5 or 10 million points and going for second to fourth place isn't a bad idea either. When Izuku saw that they were about to be surrounded, he activated the rocket pack. Ameri was flying over the area until she saw Bakugo approaching with his explosions. Bakugo. Give me that band. He threw an explosion at him. He smiled when he saw that it hit him squarely, but what he didn't expect was for Ameri's hand to grab his face. Ameri. Izuku told me he was bullied as a child. He looked at him. Were you one of the ones who was bullied? A large jet of water shot from his hand, sending Bakugo flying, but he was caught by Zero's ribbons. Zero. I put it back in its place. Bakugo. Tisk, the water won't let me make explosions, he said, soaking wet. Damn nerd's wife. Mine. You have to run away until you can use your explosions, he suggested. Izuku's team kept running until they stopped when they saw Todoroki and his team. Small p now, there's only half the time left. Izuku, it won't be easy, will it? Voa Todoroki. Todoroki, I'll keep them. Izuku. To be honest, I thought they'd go for 10 million. Yaoyorozu. To be honest, I don't think we can do anything against your wife. He saw Ameri taking down some equipment. Tokiyami and I thought we wouldn't have a confrontation until the end of the game. It seems they think about you a lot, Midoriya. Izuku, there's only half the time left. Keep moving. Todoroki. Go ahead. Iida. Yes. Todoroki. Yaoyorozu. Prepare to protect us and conduct the electricity. Izuku heard that. Yaoyorozu. Yes, he said, to create things. Todoroki. Kaminari. Chu. Kaminari. I know what I have to do. Make sure you secure it well. It began to expel electricity, indiscriminate shock, 1.4 million volts. Izuku. Tokiyami. Tokiyami. Dark Shadow. Return. He did as requested. I hope you know what you're doing, Midoriya. Kaminari expelled his electricity, electrocuting other nearby equipment. Sick. Kaminari. He screamed as he was electrocuted, just like the other teams. But then Todoroki's team saw Izuku raise his arms, and several giant roots emerged from the ground, covering and protecting him. Todoroki froze nearby teams and stole their headbands. But then the roots grew larger, trapping Izuku and Todoroki's team in a large circle. Izuku. You know, if you want, I'll give you the band. Everyone saw it. Todoroki. What are you planning? He saw it. Izuku. We actually want to go for 10 million. His team approached them. I'll trade you yours for mine. Feeling somewhat uncertain, Todoroki took Izuku's headband, and Izuku took Todoroki's. Izuku. Okay, let's go for 10 million. The roots disappeared and his team started moving towards America. Yaoyorozu. I thought they would put up more of a fight. Iida. Me too. Todoroki, sad face. I notice more teams approaching. Don't get distracted. Small p. It looks like Team Midoriya and Team Todoroki swapped headbands. Is that allowed? Midninth. There's no rule against swapping bands. So it's allowed. Jazz. Are they seriously going for 10 million? Person. We know Izuku is strong, but Ameri wins in physical strength. Kamui. A fight between spouses, who would have thought it? Ink. Oh, paying attention. Ameri kept flying until she saw Izuku and his team. Ameri. What will he be planning after leaving the 5 million? Izuku. You've practiced that spell, haven't you, Tokiyami? Tokiyami. Yes, I hope I do well. Mike. There's only 1 minute left. Izuku. Now, he was surrounded by smoke. Everyone watched as Izuku shrank to almost the size of a baby before landing in Tokiyami's hand. Tokiyami. Free. They saw how he launched Izuku, who went at great speed towards Ameri. Ameri's sad face, he saw it what? They watched as Izuku returned to his normal size, and then saw 3 more Izukus appear. Ameri. Illusion magic, it was prepared. She struck 3 Izukus, who were illusions, and the last one, she caught him. Ameri. Nice try, he looked at him with a smile. Izuku. I'm not finished yet, I take her cheeks in my hands and kiss her. Ameri. Public. Ooh, small p. Wow, I think Midoriya couldn't resist showing his wife some affection. But there are only a few seconds left. Henri's sad face with a vein in his forehead. Amu. Wow, who would have thought our king could be so bold? Mephisto. Haha, who would have thought? Shura. How cute, she said smiling. Street. Wait, she saw Izuku's hand move. Izuku broke away from the kiss with the 10 million headband in his hand. Izuku. I'm sorry, he said, letting himself fall. Ameri. I told you not to do it in public. She shouted, blushing. He flew towards him to catch him, but Dark Shadow appeared, grabbing Izuku and returning him to his place. Small p time's up. Everyone stopped. This is the end of the second round, the cavalry battle. The crowd cheered excitedly. Small p now. Let's see the top 4 teams. He looked at the results. First place, Team Midoriya. Izuku, we did it. Uraraka, that was intense. Relieved sigh. Then Ameri picked up Izuku and looked at him straight on, blushing and somewhat angry. Izuku. I'm sorry, dear, he said, sounding a little nervous. Small p second place, Team Todoroki. Yaoyorozu, well, second place isn't bad. Small p third place, Team Bakugo. Zero, well, it's not bad. Mine. At least we retained and gained some points. Kirishima, do you think he feels the same way? He saw Bakugo. Bakugo. Small p, and in fourth place, Team Tetsu. Team Shinso. When did they come from behind? Shinso, thank you for your work, he said to his team before leaving. Small p, these 4 teams will advance to the final round. The entire stadium took a break for lunch. In the cafeteria, everyone was eating, but to the surprise of some, the demons were sitting at a table. And his surprise was also partly due to the Demon King, as he was eating, and it wouldn't be strange if he didn't have about 18 plates next to him. As always, he has an incredible hunger, King Izuku, he said while eating. Clara, where will all that fit? He looked at Izuku. Inky, haven't seen you eat like this since we went to your favorite restaurant on your 4th birthday. Ameriso, I've had that habit since I was a child, He smiled. Lied, who would have thought? Smiles. Bakiko, sad face, eating a cake, this strawberry cake is very good. Shura. This fruit jelly is good too, he said, eating. Izuku, sad face, I notice Mineta and Kaminari approaching him. Kaminari, excuse me, he saw Amu. Amu, yes, he saw them. Minutes. Well, we were curious and wanted to know why it's called the Pillar of Lust. I asked. Amu. Well, he saw Izuku. Izuku, just don't overdo it, he said while eating. Amu got up from her seat and walked a little way away from the table under the gaze of the entire cafeteria. Amu. Okay, if you cross that line you'll know why they call me that. I point to the line on the floor tile. The 2 boys looked at each other somewhat doubtfully, but they mustered their courage and took a step forward. Then they both saw some petals. The entire cafeteria, but especially the men, were speechless when they saw the same thing. Everyone saw how the giant Amu touched the foreheads of the 2 boys with her fingernail, causing them to faint with smiles on their faces. Amu, and that's why I am the Pillar of Lust, he said. As they fainted, Mother, she said. Amu, oh, I hope I didn't go too far. She saw the boys. After a short break, everyone returned to the stadium. And as many suspected, they would be one-on-one fights. Kirishima. In the final round of the tournament, we'll fight one-on-one, okay. I'll be standing on the stage I've always seen on TV every year. He said excitedly. Mine, was there a tournament last year? 0. Every year is different, but there's always a one-on-one competition. Last year, it was a Chanbara sports match. Midninth now, we'll draw lots to decide the pairings. Once the pairings are done, we'll have some recreational games and then we'll begin. Midninth the 16 finalists can decide whether or not to participate in the recreational events. I'm sure they want to rest to conserve their strength. But then some decided to withdraw, including Ojiro, so they put Tetsu Shiozaki Ibara into the 16 finalists. And so the pairings began. Tetsu versus Kirishima. Both again. It's so annoying. Tokiyami versus Yaoyorozu. Tokiyami, I will do my best. Yaoyorozu, that's what I want. Ashido versus Aoyama. Aoyama, thank you. It's a shame that I'm your opponent. Mine, you mean good luck. Izuku, sad face, he saw who he was up against. Shinso, the first match of the first round. If Todoroki and I win, then we'll fight. Asterisk. Shinso. It's you, isn't it? Midoriya Izuku. Izuku turned around and saw him. I look forward to our first encounter. Izuku. Ojiro covered his mouth with his tail. Ojiro, Midoriya. Shinso smiled and left. Izuku, Ojiro. What's happening? He saw him. Ojiro. You don't answer him. Todoroki, it will be sooner than I expected, looked at the screen. Bakugo. Uraraka. He. Scared. After watching the recreational games and making sure the Ringo was ready. Smintos, okay, it's ready. Small P, thank you, Smintos. Hey everyone, are you ready? The crowd roared with excitement. A lot has happened, but now it comes down to this. A serious battle. You're on your own 2 feet. Even if you're not a hero, you'll face many situations like this. Small P audience. The finals you've all been waiting for are finally about to begin. Match number 1. He's already proven his power, straight from the underworld. From the hero course, the Demon King, Izuku Midoriya. Izuku walked over and climbed into the ring. Small P. Against you. Sorry, he hasn't done anything yet to stand out. General Studies, Shinso Hitoshi. Shinso entered the ring. The rules are simple. Push your opponent out of bounds or pin them. You can also win if you make your opponent say, I give up. Don't worry about injuries, because we have our recovery girl waiting in the wings. Small P, put your morals and ethics aside for a moment. But of course, anything deadly is trash. It's not allowed. Heroes should only use their fists to stop villains. Smintos. I'll stop things if they go too far, he said. Shinso, the Demon King, huh? Izuku looked at him. That redhead is your wife, isn't she? She seemed very strong in the second trial, but she's probably useless. Izuku started moving towards him. Shinso, it must be difficult for her with the height difference, right? Very strong but with little brainpower. Izuku, didn't say that about my wife. Stopped. Shinso. Yo gain. Small P, hey, what's going on? It's the first round and Midoriya froze. Ojiro. Ink, why isn't he moving? He saw Izuku. Ameri. Izuku. Confused. Clara. Move it, Izukuchi. Shout. What's wrong with Mr. Izuku? Shura. What's wrong with him? Henri, it seems he uses mind control, he said. Bakiko, sad face, smiles. I see what he's planning. I didn't think he'd dare to do such things. Street, I didn't think he would do those things, she said softly. Shinso. Turn around and get out of the ring, he said. Izuku turns around, but I'm not moving forward. Shinso, sad face, he saw him. What are you waiting for? Come out. But then a giant root emerged from the ground and bound Shinso. Shinso. What? Laffy, her mouth was covered by the root. Small P, what happened? A giant root shot out of the ground and tied Shinso up. Izuku. It's a good quirk, turned around and saw Shinso. Shinso. He saw it. Izuku. Well, to be a Demon King you have to go through many things. He looked at Shinso, and among them, training with all kinds of magic, including mind magic, so I'm immune to your brainwashing. Small P.O. So Midoriya is immune to Shinso's brainwashing. Street, I didn't expect him to do something like that. Everyone saw how the root pulled Shinso out of the ring and then let him go. Izuku's sad face approached. I saw you tried to use the fire. A good option with the root, smiled. You need to act faster. train in some kind of combat and practice your magic more, extended his hand. Shinso. I accept his handshake, of course, thank you and I'm sorry for what I said about your wife. Izuku. Calm. Midnight Shinso is out of bounds. The winner is Midoriya. Announcement and the audience cheers with excitement. Small p. Thanks for waiting. Now these guys are up next. Advertisement, he's good. Well, what's up, Plains of Steel? You just can't get rid of him. From the hero course, Zero Honda. Sero, that's cruel. Small p. Wow, second in the preliminaries. You're really strong, kid. That wasn't a recommended admission for nothing. Also from the hero course, Todoroki Shoto. And now, the second match of the finals. Announcement ready. Begin. Zero, well, I don't think I can win. At great speed, he fired his tapes at Todoroki, managing to tie him up. Zero, but I don't feel like I'll lose. I turned to take it out, but Todoroki created a mass of ice, leaving everyone in shock. Elizabeth, impressive. It's very similar to Karori. Gurori. I think he creates it faster, he said, adjusting his glasses. Shira. Fascinating, amazed. Amaemon. It's like an ice demon, surprised. Serrano. Did you have a little too much? He said, almost frozen. Midnight. Zero, can you move? She said, half frozen. Zero, of course not. Midnight. Zero is immobilized. Todoroki advances to the second round. Todoroki broke the frozen tapes and approached Zero. Todoroki, I'm sorry, I overdid it. He put his left hand on the ice and began to melt it. I was annoyed. The fighting continued. Kaminari vs. Shiozaki. Shiozaki won. The fight between Iida and Hatsume was interesting in a way. Ahura Yaoyorozu vs. Tokiyami. Small p. Start. Tokiyami. Vei, Dark Shadow. D. Shadow understood. It was against Yaoyorozu. Yaoyorozu created a shield, managing to cover herself. Yaoyorozu now. A weapon, but he blocked another blow from D. Shadow. I can't gather my thoughts. Asterisk. Another blow from D. Shadow managed to remove her shield. Yaoyorozu was going to create another shield, but Yaoyorozu. What? She saw herself being lifted from the ground. Everyone saw what looked like a large metal crow holding Yaoyorozu by the shoulders with its talons. Aizawa. That is, Street. El familiar de Tokiyami. The crow released Yaoyorozu, who began to create a bar, but Midnight. Yaoyorozu. Out of bounds. Yaoyorozu. Huh. He saw that he was outside the ring. Midnight. Tokiyami avanza a la segunda ronda. D. Shadow returned to Tokiyami and the crow disappeared. He simply bowed and left. Small p. A crushing victory. A completely crushing victory. Bakiko. Saw Yaoyorozu. I'll be right back, I'm going to the bathroom. Levi, but you'll miss the other fights. Bakiko, don't worry, he left. In one of the hallways, Yaoyorozu was walking somewhat sadly until she noticed Bakiko in front of her. Bakiko, wow, you look sadder up close. Yaoyorozu, can I help you? Bakiko, something like that. Would you like me to train you? Yaoyorozu. Train. Bakiko, well, I heard that after this event you'll be receiving applications for internships. So, how about I send you one? Would you accept? Yaoyorozu, I don't know. Bakiko'll just tell you that you already saw firsthand what my student did. Yaoyorozu. Your student? I have to show off what my teacher taught me. Yaoyorozu. Are you Midoriya's teacher? She saw her. Bakiko. One of the 13 crowns of the underworld. The Archer of the Summit. Bakiko Barbados introduced herself and master of the Demon King Izuku. Yaoyorozu, but why does he want to train me? Bakiko, I see potential in you, and in a way you remind me of Izuku when I started training him. Laughed a little. Although I warn you, my training is very difficult, only one person has completed it. Yaoyorozu. Midoriya. Bakiko nodded. Bakiko, see you later, he left. The fights continued and continued until it was Izuku versus Todoroki's turn. Izuku was walking through the hallways until he ran into Endeavor. Izuku, Endeavor. He saw him anyway. See you on the way. Endeavor, my Shoto's duty is to surpass All Might. Izuku stopped. His match against you will be a very instructive test. That's all I wanted to say. I apologize for bothering you before the match. Izuku. Wow, and I thought Todoroki and I had nothing in common. Endeavor saw him. We both have idiot parents. He saw him. Todoroki isn't your Izuku, and you know, if you changed your attitude a little, I could introduce you to someone who controls purple flames, he said as he continued walking. Endeavor purple flames. She watched him leave. At the stadium. Small P, thank you for waiting, everyone. The crowd roared with excitement. The first match of the second round is a big one. Todoroki entered the arena, the man who literally froze the audience, from the hero course, Shoto Todoroki. Small P on the other side, he came from the underworld, having passed the last 2 tests in first place. What will he teach us this time? From the hero course, the Demon King, Izuku Midoriya. Izuku stepped onto the arena. Elsewhere, a guy was watching the festival from a computer. Observe carefully and prepare yourself, Tamura Shigaraki, a voice said. That Demon King may become an obstacle for us. Tamura, Demon King. He saw Izuku. Inc. Izuku looked attentively. Ameri, you can do it, Izuku. Cheer up, just like everyone else. Small P at this year's sports festival, both of them delivered top-notch performances. They're like 2 fierce rivals battling it out. Now, Midoriya versus Todoroki. Let's begin. Todoroki sent his ice, managing to trap Izuku in a large iceberg. Small P, Todoroki managed to trap Midoriya in an iceberg. But did he manage to defeat him? Everyone saw the iceberg, until they noticed a purple light inside it. The iceberg began to crack, and everyone saw purple flames emerge from them. The iceberg was destroyed, revealing Izuku with a ring of fire around him and flowers made of fire around the ring. Inc. How beautiful. She saw the flowers. Clara O. Like the ones from Az, she saw the flowers. As the training paid off, smiled. Todoroki. Tisk, this will be harder than I thought. But she saw Izuku undo the ring. Todoroki, what? Izuku, if you're not going to use your flames, then neither am I. Everyone saw Izuku's hands glow, and then he launched several ice spikes at Todoroki. Todoroki created a wall of ice, managing to stop them, but one managed to break through the wall, coming within centimeters of his face. Todoroki also ice. Asterisk. I create a ramp with my ice to get closer to Izuku. Izuku threw a stake towards the ramp. Todoroki jumped and threw a punch, forcing Izuku to retreat. Todoroki sent his ice towards him, but Izuku created a wall of ice, stopping Todoroki's attack. Several spikes emerged from the wall and Izuku pushed the wall towards Todoroki, who managed to move aside, avoiding it. Small P, they're both only using ice attacks. Now this is a real ice fight. Todoroki, I know you can end this fight with your fire. Why are you doing this? He saw it. Izuku. Let's just say I want to have a little fun. He looked at him and noticed frost on his right arm, but it seems to affect you using a lot of ice. You're trembling. Todoroki, he saw him. Izuku, quirks are physical abilities too. There's a limit to how much you can handle, right? He saw it. It's the same with magic. Demons get exhausted when they use too much magical power. Izuku's sad face, he saw it, but it's a shame for you. I still have magic power left. An ice wall formed behind him, and several stakes emerged from it. Izuku, but in your case, isn't it something you can fix with the heat on your left side? Todoroki. Izuku, everyone's fighting with everything they've got to win and get closer to their goal, to become number 1. You want to achieve it with only half your power. You haven't even scratched me yet. Come at me with everything you've got. Todoroki, Midoriya. What are you planning? Did my father pay you to do this? Todoroki. Now I'm angry. He ran towards him. Izuku, his movements are slow. He saw him. Todoroki, he won't be able to create ice in time if I'm nearby, but I noticed something. Izuku punched him in the stomach, pushing him away. Small P, he got him. Finally, we have a direct hit. Izuku, didn't think I only use magic. I also know how to fight hand to hand, he said to Todoroki, who stood up. Todoroki, why? I send more ice. Izuku, asterisk, the speed of the ice has decreased, he thought, dodging the ice, but then he saw Todoroki approaching. Using the surrounding ice, I create a large mace and strike Todoroki with it, knocking him away. Everyone continued watching the fight, Todoroki sending out his ice and Izuku destroying it with weapons made of ice. Inc. Will Izuku be alright? Ameri, although Izuku has a lot of magical power, if they continue like this, it will start to run out. Carol. He has learned a lot. He saw Izuku creating ice weapons to defend himself. Izuku punched Todoroki, pushing him away. Izuku, there's no way I can know your circumstances, but to become number one without giving it your all, just to reject your father, right now I think you should stop playing dumb. He punched him in the chest. Todoroki. It's good that you become what you want to be. Those were the words of Todoroki's mother that echoed in his head. And then, small p. This is it. Street. Awesome. Carol. Even here, I can feel the heat, she said, creating some ice to ward off the heat. Chlorates like as. I admit it's impressive, he said, looking at the flames. Shura. Fascinating. Bakukoit's so hot. Amut's an impressive fire. Game rooms. Definitely. Izuku punched Todoroki, pushing him away. Izuku, there's no way I can know your circumstances, but to become number one without giving it your all, just to reject your father, right now I think you should stop playing dumb. He punched him in the chest. Todoroki. It's good that you become what you want to be. Those were the words of Todoroki's mother that echoed in his head. And then, Izuku smiled. Endeavor. Arrow. Small p. Endeavor. You finally accepted yourself. That's it. Good. Here it all begins for you. He said as he went down the stairs and approached the arena. With my blood, you will surpass, you will fulfill my desire. Small p. Endeavor suddenly shouted, cheer up. That's awesome. So affectionate. Izuku, hey Endeavor, he saw him, shut up. Endeavor saw it and trembled. Izuku, wow. Saw Todoroki, this brings back memories of my first year at Babel's. Smiled. Todoroki, why are you smiling? In this situation, you're crazy. Don't blame me for what happens. But then everyone saw the sand sparkle and transparent green barriers appear around the stands. Midnight barriers. Izuku, it's just in case. Everyone saw how Izuku created many purple flames along with ice. Sabnok, ha. He's getting very excited. Everyone paid attention. Izuku, I don't know what will happen when the attacks collide. They both got ready. Smintos, Midnight. If they keep this up, it's going to get out of control. She said using her quirk. Midnight tore part of his suit, releasing his smoke. They all saw how they sent a huge amount of ice to then prepare their flames. Todoroki, Midoriya, thank you. Both unleashed their flames, walls made of cement appeared, but Midnight flew away, while the barriers prevented all the debris from flying towards the stands. A few seconds passed before the smoke began to dissipate. Smintos, just because something is powerful doesn't mean it's good, but it's incredible. Small p. What was that? She said, upside down on the chair. What's wrong with your class? Street, don't look at me. Aizawa, the air suddenly cooled and heated up, expanding. Small p. Did that cause the explosion? He stood up. How hot was that? Damn, I can't see anything. Hey, who won the match? Midnight's sad face, she got up in pain. Ow. Then everyone saw Todoroki outside the arena and embedded in the wall of the stands, knocked out. Midnight, Todoroki is out of bounds and everyone saw Izuku on the ground and outside the arena, but he was closer, and what caught their attention the most were the marks of fingers being dragged towards Izuku. Midnight, did he stay in the sand the longest, digging his fingers into the sand? Impressed, Midoriya is the winner. He advances to the third round. The crowd roared with excitement. The barriers disappeared. Ameri, Izuku jumps off the balcony. He went to him and took him in his arms. Ameri, Izuku, are you okay? He touched his face. Izuku, ah. He opened his eyes a little and saw her. Ameri. I didn't eat the cake from the fridge, he said weakly before falling asleep. Ameri's sad face smiles. Looks like you got a little too excited, silly. Hugs him. Inko, Ameri, and Izuku's friends were walking towards the infirmary. Upon arriving, they knocked on the door and entered. There they saw Izuku lying on one of the beds, being attended to by recovery girl and Balam. Izuku, oh, hello, he saw them. Ink. Are you okay? Gee, it'll be fine, we'll use my quirk and Balam's healing magic. My child, now he just needs to rest a little and he'll be ready for the next fight. Izuku, what happened in the next confrontation? As since the stage suffered a lot of damage, it was decided that there would be a break to repair it. Sabnok even so, the battle was impressive. Lied. Seriously, they didn't hold back. Clara. You guys made the place, boom. Izuku laughed. Ameri next time, don't worry me so much. I pull Izuku's cheek. Izuku yes, sorry. Ink okay, we'll return to our positions. Try not to overdo it in the next fight. Izuku nodded, and with that they left. With the arena now repaired, the next fight began, which was Iida's fight against a girl from Class B named Abara Shiozaki. The winner was Iida, who went at high speed behind the girl and pushed her to the edge of the arena. Then came the Tokiyami vs Ashido match. Ashido tried to melt Dark Shadow with her acid, but he dodged it until he gave her a push, managing to get her out of the arena. Then came Bakugo vs Kirishima. Kirishima hardened his body and went to attack Bakugo, who dodged him while remaining on the defensive. Everything was seen by Izuku, who was a little higher up than where Class A was. Izuku you've never seen Bakugo so defensive. Iida Midoriya arriving with him, it seems you've made a full recovery. Izuku yes, and congratulations on making it to the semifinals, he said. Iida it means we'll both fight, he looked at the screen, I want you to know that I don't plan to give up without a fight. Izuku. I hope so, smiles. But then they saw Bakugo launch several explosions at Kirishima, who was covering himself, and then they saw him launch another, even bigger explosion, knocking Kirishima unconscious. Midninth Kirishima is out of the fight. Bakugo wins. Advertisement. Small p with that massive barrage, Bakugo advances to the third round. And that shows the final four. Iida okay, let's go. Izuku nodded. Small p the first semifinal match. From the hero course, Tenya Iida. Iida entered the arena versus. From the hero course and the Demon King, Izuku Midoriya. Izuku entered the arena. Midninth let's begin. Iida started running while dodging beams sent by Izuku, seeing that he was already close to him. Izuku sent ice, forcing him back, then sent ice from another side, managing to trap him in a smaller space. Small P.O. Iida is surrounded. Izuku sent more ice towards the. Small p Midoriya advances towards victory. Then they saw Iida dodge the ice by making a great leap towards Izuku. Iida. Recipro. Letter. Asterisk. I send a kick that Izuku barely dodges. Iida I have 10 seconds until my engines stop. I have to win in that time. Asterisk. He spun around and kicked Izuku in the torso again. Small p a direct hit. Everyone saw Izuku on the ground. Zero I landed a hard hit. Kaminari that kick was so fast. Then Iida grabbed Izuku by the shirt and ran towards the edge of the field to pull him out. Iida I have 8 seconds left. I can do it. I thought while running, I'll throw it out of bounds like. But then Iida began to sink. Iida what? Izuku remember that I have several tricks up my sleeve. Iida saw Izuku's hand touching the ground. I learned this from my friend Agaras, changing the state of the ground. Everyone watched Iida sink until it stopped, until it reached his head. Midninth Iida, immobilize him. Midoriya wins. Advertisement. The next match was Bakugo vs. Tokiyami. Bakugo was winning because Dark Shadow had a weakness to the light from Bakugo's explosions. By unleashing a massive explosion, Bakugo managed to immobilize Tokiyami, forcing him to surrender. Midninth. Tokiyami está inmovilizado. Bakugo gana. Small p the final will be Midoriya vs Bakugo. The crowd cheered excitedly. Everyone was ready to watch the next fight. Ameri you said they were friends, right? He looked at Inko. Ink that's right, but when Izuku didn't awaken his quirk, it seems they got along very differently. He saw them both enter the ring, but I don't know if that changed in the last 5 years. Small p. We've finally reached the final battle of the UA Sports Festival. The crowd roared with excitement. The best freshman will be decided in this showdown. The so-called final showdown. Small p from the hero course and king of the underworld, Izuku Midoriya. Against. Also from the hero course, Katsuki Bakugo. Small p now. Begin. Izuku sent out a large amount of ice, which Bakugo quickly began to destroy. At one point, Izuku sent out much more ice, managing to trap Bakugo inside an iceberg. Small p Midoriya suddenly goes all out. Is he trying to avoid close combat with Bakugo? Do we already have a winner? Street sad face heard something, it's not over yet. Everyone heard noises inside the iceberg. Minutes, what is that noise? Suyu. S. Bakugo Kiro. Then they saw Bakugo appear with an explosion inside the ice. Zero did it burrow through the ice like a mole, using its blasts. Kaminari, how strange. Bakugo demon king or no, to me you're still Deku. He charged at him with an explosion, preparing his right arm for another blast. But everyone saw Izuku grab his right arm and slam it to the ground. Bakugo. Bastard. He launched an explosion at the ground, causing Izuku to lose his balance, then launched another explosion that sent him flying. Izuku created a small tornado behind him, thus avoiding leaving the arena. Izuku, you've really gotten stronger, Bakugo smiled. Bakugo, I hate to say it, but if you've really gotten stronger, attack me with everything you've got. Izuku, so, we're betting everything on one attack. Izuku began to release lightning, ice, fire, and many other elements from his hands. Bakugo unleashed a downward explosion to propel himself upwards, then began creating many more explosions which caused him to spin. Izuku also jumped, preparing his attacks. Bakugo. Howitzer, impact. The two attacks collided, creating a large cloud of smoke. Small p, it seems they both went all in on a single attack. But who will be the winner? Everyone was watching to see who would appear on the sand still standing. Seeing that the smoke began to dissipate, they pulled Izuku up, buried on some rubble and still in the sand. Then they noticed Bakugo unconscious on some rubble, and outside the arena. Midninth, Bakugo is out of bounds. Which means Midoriya wins. The crowd roars with excitement. Small p, and with that, all events are complete. The winner of this year's UA Sports Festival is Izuku Midoriya. Both the demons at Babel's Academy, the members of the 13 Crowns, and Izuku's friends shouted with excitement. Ameri jumped off the balcony to go towards Izuku, moved some rubble and pulled him out. Ameri, I told you not to worry me, silly. I hug him. Now everyone was at the medal ceremony. Midninth, and now, let's begin the awards ceremony. A platform appeared from the ground, revealing Izuku, Bakugo, and Tokiyami on the first, second, and third place podiums. Midninth. Now, we'll hand out the medals. And who's handing them out this year? Of course, had to be this guy. Ha ha ha, everyone heard that laugh and was thrilled. Midninth, I'm here to hand out medals. Our hero All Might, lands. Midninth, very well, All Might, please hand out the medals starting with third place. I take out the medals. My young Tokiyami, congratulations, he placed the medal on him, you are very strong. Tokiyami, I appreciate your words. Mhowever, to be able to fight well against different types, you shouldn't rely solely on your quirk, he said, giving him a hug and pats on the back. If you train to improve your own strength, you'll have more options to fight. Tokiyami, yes, sir. He saw his medal. My young Bakugo, congratulations. He placed the medal on him. You've demonstrated a powerful quirk, but that doesn't mean you can't improve in other areas. Keep striving. Bakugo, sad face, saw her medal, yes. My young Midoriya, congratulations on first place. He placed the medal on him. I see you have great power to protect your kingdom. Continue to be a good king. Izuku, yes, sir. He smiled. Well, they were the winners this time. But listen, any one of you could have ended up on the podium. Just like you saw, competing, improving, and climbing higher and higher. The next generation of heroes is definitely emerging. So I only have one thing to say. Everyone say it with me. Ready. Public, good job. Plus ultra, all. Public, you should have said. Plus ultra, All Might. Well, I think everyone did a good job. Midninth, and remember, the presentation of the demo idol, Chrome, will begin in a few minutes. Advertisement. A few days before the sports festival. In the underworld, in Izuku's mansion. Izuku entered the room where he saw Ameri with Karori. Izuku, hello Crystal, what brings you here? She sat down next to Ameri. Jerry, I heard that a festival will be held at UA Academy in a few days. Izuku nodded. I was wondering if it would be possible to attend as Chrome. Izuku, I can ask Director Nezu, he'll probably agree. Jerry. Also, I want Izumi to be introduced too, she said. Izuku. Well, I couldn't. They'd probably recognize me more easily there. Jerry, relax, I take out a blue wig and dress along with the makeup, no one will recognize you. Izuku. Well, Jerry, don't forget you owe me a favor for helping you with your marriage proposal, she said, handing her the wig and dress. Ameri, you owe it to him. Izuku, he saw it. Izuku. Okay, lowers his head in defeat. In the present, everyone saw the stadium. A hatch opened in the ground and there they saw Chrome go up on a platform. Chrome, hello. I'm the demo idol, Chrome. I hope you enjoy my show. She said also, today I've come with a companion. You know her as the mysterious demo idol from the underworld, Izumi. She climbed onto a platform. Izumi. Nice to meet you. Lies, Clara and Az. He seriously forced him. Chrome, let's begin. Purple heart Chrome and Izumi blue heart. Don't get distracted, demon. They can steal your heart suddenly. Pretty girls are devils. Are you trying to touch my hair? I slip away easily. Do you want to talk? Do you want to touch me? If you insist, I'll play with you. Do I love you or not? Guess what? You'd give your soul for me, wouldn't you? I'm a she-devil, a she-devil. I will manipulate you at will. I'm a devil. Take the initiative, demon. You have to take the plunge. To bite at first sight. I'm an adorable devil. I seem to be within your reach. It's infuriating, isn't it? I won't let you go. You won't escape. I want to fulfill all my wishes. Do you love me? I already know. You'd give your heart for me, wouldn't you? I am a she-devil, a she-devil. The crowd roared with excitement. Both thank you so much, UA. 2 days had passed since the sports festival, and UA decided to give the students a few days off. Now we find Izuku and Ameri walking through the streets of Hosu City. As he had promised Ameri, Izuku took her to a manga store. Ameri, wow, I can't believe there are so many manga, she said, looking around the store and at the sheer number of manga they had. Izuku. Yes, it's impressive how many there are still, he said, taking one. I'm surprised that One Piece is still here. I thought it had ended in these 5 years. Izuku, okay. So what kind of manga do you want? Ameri. I suppose something similar to Memories of First Love, she said. Izuku, romance then. I take her hand, I think they're around here, and she closes her eyes for a moment. Ameri, why? Confused. Izuku, trust me, I don't want you to enter that world, she said softly, looking at the BL section nearby. Ameri did it and Izuku took her to the romance section. After searching for a few minutes, Ameri made his decision. Ameri, I'll take this. Kimi ni Todoke, read the manga. Izuku, okay. Oh, it seems the collection is complete. How lucky. I'll take the manga. They paid and left the store to continue on their way. Izuku. So, we'll just go see my mom and then go back to the dorms. They continued walking until someone bumped into Izuku. The pair saw a girl with red eyes, bluish-white hair, and a small horn on her forehead. Ameri, a little girl. Is she lost? He saw the girl. Izuku, he little one, are you okay? He crouched down and reached out his hand, but noticed the girl was startled. Izuku lifted her up and saw her tremble. Izuku, she feels too light, even for a girl her age. Is she eating well? Type. Understand. Izuku and Ameri saw 2 guys with strange masks, similar to the plague masks. Chipo 2, thank you for finding her, we are the girl's nannies. We will take her home, he said. Little girl. Don't go, she said, grabbing Izuku's shirt tightly. Izuku. I pick her up and stroke her head, take her for a moment. Ameri, I hand her over. Ameri, come here, little one, I'll carry her. Type 1, hey, what do you think? Then both men were covered by mounds of rocks that immobilized them. Izuku, sad face, approaching them, I'm only going to ask you this once. What did you do to the girl? Later. The 3 were at the police station. Naomasa. I see. Izuku, that was all the information I got out of them. Apparently, the girl, Eri, is important to the Yakuza's plans. Naomasa will conduct an investigation in your building, but was it okay that you let those guys leave? Izuku, I erased their memories. They'll only remember that they were looking for Eri and nothing about when we met. Naomasa. I understand. Izuku, and what will happen to Eri? She saw her in a room next to Ameri, while some nurses were checking on her. Naomasa, normally we'd keep her here until we caught those guys and then send her to an orphanage, but it seems she's grown fond of them both. Izuku, is it possible for us to adopt her? He saw Naomasa. Naomasa, well, normally, young people wouldn't be able to adopt a child. But you're both married, and your wife is of legal age, and it's obvious you have the means to support little Eri. He looked at it. I'll see what I can do. Izuku smiled and then entered the room where Ameri and Eri were. The next day, Izuku and Ameri were outside the dorms. The others were watching curiously through the windows. Uraraka, what could they be doing? Iida, they said they were waiting for someone. Then they saw a car arrive. Aizawa got out and went to open the back door. Aizawa, we arrived. He saw Eri. Eri went downstairs and looked around curiously. Then he saw Izuku and Ameri approaching. Izuku, welcome to your new home, Eri. She smiled. Ameri, I knew you'd look good in that dress, smiled. Do you like it? Different. Yes, I agree. Ameri. Glad to hear it. Izuku, come on. We'll show you your room. They both extended their hands. Eri took them somewhat shyly, and they began walking towards the dormitories. Upon entering, they noticed the entire class staring at them. Izuku. What's happening? Iida, well, we don't want to get into personal matters, but mine, who is the little girl? Izuku, oh, well, she is Ameri. Our daughter. Everyone was shocked, and if you'll excuse us, we have to show you her room. The three of them left. All what? In Izuku and Ameri's room. Izuku, well, this is our home, showed the place. Different, oh, he saw the place. Ameri, and this will be your room. He opened a door. Eri looked around the room. It was painted white with some chibi animal drawings, some stuffed animals, a small desk, and a very comfortable bed. Izuku. Do you like it? Different. Ameri. Maybe it's too much to take in. I told you it was maybe too many things. Looked at Izuku. Different, no, I like it. It's just, why are they giving me this? They both looked at her. I'm cursed. I bring pain to everyone. And Izuku and Ameri hugged her. Izuku, listen to us, Eri, everything they told you is a lie. Ameri, are not cursed, and you don't bring pain to anyone. I wipe away some tears that were welling up in her eyes. Now we are your parents. We're going to take care of you, protect you from bad people and anyone who tries to hurt you. Izuku, are not going to yell at you or hit you for simply asking for something. If you want something, just say so, okay? Different. Yes, he nodded. Ameri, okay. We'll let you go see your room. We'll be in the living room if you need anything. They both left the room. Izuku, well, now we're parents. Ameri. Yes, she smiled. To be honest, I didn't think it would be so soon. And how do we tell our parents? Izuku. I forgot about that. Takes out his cell phone. I'll tell them. He said to send a message to the group where his friends, his parents and his grandfather were done. Within seconds, they began to hear several message notifications from Izuku's cell phone. Ameri, I hope this doesn't get out of control. Later, all of Izuku and Ameri's friends, their parents, their grandfather, and the students from Class A were in the room watching them. Ink, how is it that they have a daughter? Sullivan. And why didn't you say so earlier? I could have brought you more things, she said, holding about 10 bags. Clara, can we meet her? I want to play with her, she said with a big smile. Izuku, calm down. First, there are some things you need to know about her. After an explanation, Ink, oh my god, covered her mouth. Yaoyorozu, to do that to a little girl. Sullivan, if you'll excuse me, I have to take care of some insects, he said seriously, getting up from his seat. Opera, calm down, Mr. Sullivan. We were told the heroes will take care of them. He calmed down and sat back down. I promise to protect your daughter with my life, Mr. Izuku, he said, kneeling down. Sabnock, count me in. Izuku, thanks guys, smiled. Elizabeth, and can we see it? Ameri, she's a little shy and new to meeting people, but I'll ask her if she wants to meet them. She went to Eri's room. A few minutes later, Ameri returned with Eri behind her, hiding behind her leg. Ameri, they are our friends. Different, sad face. She peeked out and saw them. Hello. Izuku. Well, how about you form a line and introduce yourselves? He said. Everyone formed a line. Inko, Izuku's mother and now also your grandmother Hihi. Different. Grandmother. Henry, and it seems I'm your grandfather now. I'm Henry, Ameri's father. He introduced himself with a smile. Sullivan, I am Sullivan, Izuku's grandfather and now also your great-grandfather. Different. By B. Confused. Sullivan, you can call me Grandpa if you want, I smile. Everyone started introducing themselves. Eri had also received some gifts, especially from her, Grandpa, Clara, and Carolee. The others also promised to bring him a gift. Night had fallen. Eri was being comforted by Izuku and Ameri. Ameri, good evening Eri. They both kissed him on the forehead. Izuku. Our room is next door if you need anything. We'll also listen to you with this in case anything happens. I point to the baby monitor. Ameri. Rest well. Different. Well, good night, he said. They both smiled, turned off the lights, turned on the star-shaped nightlight, and went to their room. Eri saw the ceiling and the stars that appeared in the night light. Different. How beautiful. She fell asleep. 11:30 at night. Eri woke up thirsty, got out of bed and left her room. Luckily her stuffed animals of a green rabbit and a red cat had lights on. He was going to knock on Izuku and Ameri's bedroom door, but not wanting to disturb them, he didn't and went to the kitchen instead. Different. I pull up a stool and take a glass, Then Izuku turned on the kitchen light. Izuku. Oh, she saw her. Hi Eri, are you having trouble sleeping? Different. No, I wanted something to drink. Izuku, I understand. I take the glass, do you want water or milk? Different. Milk. Izuku, okay. She opened the refrigerator and took the milk to pour into the glass. They say warm milk helps you sleep. She put the glass in the microwave and warmed it up a little. Here you go. She gave her the glass. Different. Thank you. He took the glass and drank the milk. Izuku. Don't you want some cake? I take out the cake, as long as you don't eat too much, it's fine. I cut a small piece and gave it to him. Different. Sad face. Ate him. This is delicious. Izuku. I'm glad, smiled and ate her piece. Ameri. It seems you've already taught her your habits. Izuku trembled and looked at her. Izuku. And no, it's not what you think, as she wanted something to drink. Different. Was it something bad? He lowers his head. Ameri, you didn't do anything wrong. I stroked his head. You go to sleep, okay. Different. If returns to his room. Ameri, you and I will have that conversation again tomorrow. He looked at Izuku seriously. Izuku. Why yes dear, he said tremulously. They both returned to their room. Eri was waking up. She rubbed her eyes and put on her slippers. She left her room and noticed a pleasant smell. She went to the kitchen and saw Izuku cooking and Ameri setting the table. Izuku, sad face, saw her. Oh, good morning Eri, smiled. Breakfast will be ready soon, go wash your face. Different. Yes, he went to the bathroom. After washing her face, she went to the table where Ameri picked her up and sat her down in one of the chairs. Izuku, I hope you like the pancakes. She placed the plate in front of her. Different. Oh, she saw the pancakes and was fascinated. Izuku, if you want more, just say so. Do you want something to drink? Juice. She nodded. Well, we have orange, apple. Different. Apple, he said. Izuku. Sure. She poured him juice and gave him the glass. Then he served Ameri pancakes, then he took his own and sat down. Izuku and Ameri, enjoy. Different. Profit. The three of them ate. Different. Continued eating. Izuku, I'm glad you like them. She smiled and continued eating. After eating, Ameri, by the way, Eri, she saw her, we want to ask you something. Izuku, Ameri and I have things to do elsewhere, so we wanted to know if you'd like to come with us or stay here. I promise you'll be well taken care of if you stay here. Different. I want to go. Ameri, sad face, I smile. Okay, then let's get you changed. Luckily, Sullivan gave you some dresses. They both went to Eri's room. Izuku was already changed, then he heard footsteps and saw Ameri wearing her dress and Eri changed. Izuku, oh, you look so beautiful. Eri kneeled down to her level, like a princess, hee. Ameri, luckily, there was one his size. Izuku, well, then we'll have to buy him more clothes. Then a portal opened in front of them. Izuku, let's go, I take Eri's hand. The three of them entered the portal. In the underworld, more specifically, at the Tower of Babel. The 13 crowns were curiously watching Eri, who was sitting between Izuku and Ameri. Izuku. You can ask. Amu, who is the cute little girl? Ameri. Our daughter. All, Henri. Huh. Izuku, our adopted daughter, she said, is named Eri, and she's a bit shy meeting people. So introduce yourself properly. They all appeared before Eri. Bakiko, can I give him archery training? He saw Izuku. Izuku. When she's older, and only if she wants to. Bakiko. That seems fine to me. Henri. Then let's finish this. In a few days the internships at UA will begin. So everyone got to work. Later. Now they were back in the dorm at UA. Sullivan had come to visit them, bringing a lot of gifts for Eri. Izuku, that's why you asked me Eri's size via message. Opera, these are the last ones, she said, leaving 5 more gifts in the room. Sullivan. Jojo, it's the job of grandparents to spoil their grandchildren. Ameri, although so many weren't necessary, they won't all fit in his room. Sullivan. Saw the gifts, maybe I went a little overboard. Night is almost here. Eri was eating hamburgers for dinner when she saw Izuku in his suit. Izuku. Well, I'm going to President Barbados's party. She saw Ameri. You'll have your girls' night, right? Ameri, that's right, they'll be here soon. I also invited some girls from classes A and B. Izuku, okay, then I'll see you later. He kissed her. Have fun. Bye, Eri. Different, what did grandma say? Have a good trip, she said. Izuku smiled and entered a portal. After a few minutes, the girls started to arrive. Ameri's sad face opened the door. Welcome. Clara, girls' night out. Animated. Elizabeth, it has been a while since we last met. Ameri. Yes, but I noticed something. Didn't teacher Momonoki come? Carol, he said he was having dinner with some relatives. Ameri. I see. Then the girls from Class A arrived. Yaoyorozu, thank you for inviting us. Mine, it's been a while since I had a girls' night out, she smiled. Suyu, we brought some snacks, Kiro. Ochako, I wonder what we'll do, she said, sounding a little excited. After the girls from Class B arrived, although not all of them came, only some of them were Kendo, Kodai, Setsuna, and Kanoko. Now they were all watching a movie while painting their nails, and some of the A and B classes were looking at underworld clothing magazines. Setsuna. I have to admit they have some very nice clothes in the underworld, he said, looking at the magazine. Mine, by the way, Ameri, she saw this one. How did Midoriya confess to you? Ameri. Well, blushing, it was curious. They all gathered around her, including Eri, who also wanted to listen. Ameri. Well, 2 years ago, at the Babel's Academy, a 13-year-old Izuku was walking until he reached the teacher's lounge. Izuku, excuse me, is Professor Caligo there? Street, sad face, he saw him. What do you want, Izuku? Izuku's sad face approached. Well, I want to ask you for some love advice. Street, love advice, Izuku. Is that why you're here? He looked at him. Well, you surely remember my lessons on Lilith's red carpet. You already know how to woo a woman, now do it and leave. Izuku. Why yes, thank you. She left. Later in the student council office. Ameri. Come in. He saw Izuku enter. Izuku. What's wrong? Izuku. Well, I want to ask you something. He approached. Ameri. Okay, tell me. But then Izuku knelt down and grabbed her leg. Blushing. Up to date. Robin, hey, Professor Caligo. Look what came out in the school newspaper today. He handed him the newspaper. Street. Now what? I read N. Currently. Ameri, and that's what happened, she said, blushing. Mine, AWW, how cute. Juro. I would never have imagined him doing something so daring, she said, surprised. Mine, by the way, do you think you could ever take me to a Chrome concert? He sang really well. Uraraka. That's right, she was very pretty too. Amerisure. I'll wear them someday, she smiled. Without anyone noticing, Carolee had a cat-like smile. Yaoyorozu. That girl Izumi also sang well. Kendo, is it true? Does she also do concerts? Amaraya. No, sometimes Chrome invites her to sing with her. It's just that she's sometimes very shy. Setsuna. I see. Later tonight, the girls were watching a movie. Eri was asleep with her head on Ameri's lap. But then they heard someone knock on the door. Ameri moved Ero carefully so as not to wake her, went to the door and opened it. Ameri. Yes, but she saw Izuku with a red face and Mephisto. What happened to him? Mephisto, I'm sorry, Your Majesty. They gave you an alcoholic drink by mistake and you got like this. Ameri, I understand, we have to take him to bed. After leaving him in bed, Mephisto left. Ameri, Izuku, can you at least take off your jacket? I grab him by the shoulders. Izuku. No. Don't touch me, he said drunkenly. I'm a married man and I love my wife very much. He fell face first onto the pillow. Ameri's sad face smiled. Good heavens, I took off his jacket and laid him down properly. Rest well. Izuku was with Eri in the dormitory courtyard. Right now, Izuku was watching Eri play with her familiar, Lapunch. Different. Approached Izuku. Izuku. What's happening? Different, can I have one like her too? I point to Lapunch. Izuku, well, at your age, it's possible that family members might get out of control. He said, but, maybe I can give you something similar. Then some Eri plushies appeared. Izuku, this is the first time I've done this. Concentrates. Eri just watched as the plush toys began to glow. After a few seconds, they stopped glowing. Izuku. I present to you Razzle and Dazzle. Different. Oh, fascinated. Izuku, you can play with them and they'll protect you if Ameri or I aren't around. Different. Sad face hugs Izuku. Thank you. Izuku, sad face, I smile. It's nothing. I stroke his head. Go on, go play with them. Different. Yes. Izuku just watched them play. Izuku was in an office in his mansion in the underworld. Right now he was lying face down on the desk due to exhaustion, as he had to help those who chose to do internships in the underworld. Ameri's sad face arriving with Eri. Wow, a lot of people really wanted to do internships here, she said, looking at the mountains of documents. Izuku. Different, are you okay? I asked, sounding a little worried. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Don't worry, he'll be fine, said a mysterious voice. Then Ameri and Eri saw a shadow emerge from Izuku's ring, then it took shape. Different. Who is it? Ameri, this is Ali, I'll introduce him. But it's nice to meet Izuku's daughter. He saw Eri. You could say I'm like your uncle. He said cheerfully, well, I think Izuku should rest. But his cycle of evil is near, and we cannot risk him entering that state during the internships. Ameri, are right. Okay, I pick up Izuku, let's take him to rest. A portal opened and Ameri entered along with Eri and Ali, where they arrived at their room in the dormitories. Ameri. I leave Izuku in bed. There, get some rest. Both girls went to the living room while Ali returned to the ring. Different. What is the cycle of madness? She asked curiously. Ameri. The cycle of evil is a state that we demons enter at a certain time, but we can also enter that cycle when we are very stressed, he said. Different. And is it bad? Ameri. There are some demons that aren't well controlled during that state. Luckily Izuku's only changes his personality, but he's still just as good, he said with a smile. Different. Oh, a few days later, Ameri was preparing breakfast, served it to Eri, and then checked the time. Ameri. Izuku is usually awake at this time. Then they heard footsteps, and both saw Izuku arrive in the dining room. But they were surprised by his appearance. Her hair was now completely black, while her eyes were now red. Ameri. He arrived a day early. He saw him. Gee, good morning, would you like some breakfast? Izuku. Yes, please. She went towards the table. Then he stopped in front of Eri, who looked at him with surprise and a little fear. Then she felt him place his hand on her head and stroke it. Izuku. Good morning, Eri. I take a seat. Different. Good morning. A little later, everyone was outside the dormitories with their briefcases, watching Izuku in his evil cycle with surprise. Mine. Ameri, what happened to her? He saw her. Ameri. Izuku entered his cycle of evil, he said. Suyu. Cycle of evil. I remember we saw that in a Caligo class. Hagakuriso, this is what a demon looks like in its cycle of evil. Then they saw a bus arrive, it stopped in front of them and they saw Aizawa get off. Aizawa, does everyone have their briefcases? Everyone nodded. Very good, we'll take you to the station so you can start your internships. Street with the exception of Todoroki, Yaoyorozu, and Bakugo, who decided to do their internships in the underworld, Midoriya will take them there. Izuku. Sigin-me. I snapped my fingers and a portal opened. Those mentioned entered the portal. Izuku's sad face, she saw Razzle and Dazzle eating donuts. You guys better take good care of Eri or I'll turn you back into plushies. They nodded quickly. Izuku, see you later. He kissed Ameri and went into the portal. In the underworld, Yaoyorozu. So this is the underworld. Then I notice a building. What is that place? Bakiko. That's the Babel's Academy, he said, arriving alongside two other demons. They both saw the other two demons. The first one looked more like a mermaid, with blue hair and clothes, and a beak instead of a mouth. Bore. I am Lady Vepper, she said, shedding a few tears. I will be in charge of Bakugo. The second one appeared more human, although it had two horns coming out of its forehead. Ifrit, I am Ifrit, master of Babel's and Todoroki's caretaker. Bakiko, and it seems you accepted my invitation. She saw Yaoyorozu. I'll be in charge of you. Izuku, okay. I'm leaving them in your hands. Don't be too rough with them, remember they're human. I said as I left. Meanwhile, elsewhere with Bakiko and Momo. Bakiko, okay. First we'll make an arch, he said. Type A bow, okay. He started creating it. Then Bakiko struck the bow, knocking it to the ground. Bakiko, no. You're in the underworld and your teacher is a demon. Don't use your quirk. Type. Why yes, she said somewhat nervously. But how do I create an arch? Bakiko. They should have already taught you the spell, right? She looked at it. Quartz, although first you need a core. Type. A nucleus. Bakiko. That's the only reason I'll let you use your quirk. I pick up a branch from the ground. Look, quartz. Momo watched as the branch shone until it transformed into an arch. Bakiko, with my lineage magic, I can create magical bows, but ordinary demons need a core. Wood for a wooden bow, flowers for a flower bow, iron for an iron bow. Through evolution, quartz, the core material develops into a bow. Type. I understand. Bakiko, but you shouldn't use just anything as the core and create the arc. It has to be part of you. She saw it. I'll just give you this advice. Why do you want to be a hero? Type. Why do I want to be a hero? Bakiko, okay. I'll leave you to think about it. I'm going to eat some sweets, she said as she left. Momo just looked at his hand with doubt. We find ourselves in a cave filled with water, inside which Bakugo was dodging water tentacles created by Vepper. One of them managed to hit him, causing him to fall into the water. Bore. I'm sorry, the Demon King told me that your body creates that nitroglycerin and what you hated most was water, he said, tears welling in his eyes, so my training is to make you fight against your greatest difficulty. I'm sorry for being so cruel, he cried more. Bakugo. Tisk. I hate to admit it, but Deku, you really gave me a challenge. He stood up and sparks flew from his hands. Continue. Bore. Okay. Forgive me for being so cruel. I send more water tentacles at him. Todoroki was dodging purple flames. Sometimes he used his ice to shield himself, but it melted after a few seconds. Todoroki's sad face hid behind a pillar. So this is a fire demon, saw Ifrit. Ifrit, you're not bad using your ice, but I told you that you need to improve your fire. He saw it. Your flames themselves aren't bad, but you need to improve their power. Then Todoroki saw how he created a large fireball. Ifrit. Although, to be honest, compared to my flames, yours are like those of a small candle, he said with a smile. Meanwhile, at Izuku and Ameri's home, in the dormitories, there were Izuku, Ameri, Inko, and Eri drinking tea. So that's what Izuku looks like in that cycle of evil, looking at his son. So is it true that you sent some of your friends to train with masters from the underworld? Izuku, that's right, he nodded. Ameri, are you sure about that? Being human, I don't think they can last that long. Izuku, they're on the path to becoming heroes, and they may face very dangerous threats in the future, he said, taking a sip of his tea. Furthermore, it's best if they unlock their potential sooner. Izuku, furthermore, when someone feels threatened, they can reach their full potential faster, he smiled. That's why we put them through hellish training. Inky, think I understand, but just tell their teachers not to go too far, he said. Izuku. Don't worry, the most important thing for teachers in the underworld is to protect their students, to help them bring out the best in themselves for the future of the underworld. Smiles. Then they heard a knock at the door. Ameri went to open it where she saw Az and Clara. Clara. Izuchi, let's play. He saw him. Oh. As it seems he got ahead of himself this time. Izuku, welcome. What happened? He saw them. Clara, today is our game day. Izuku, aw. Right, he remembered. Clara, and it's a good time to make you relax faster. He takes his plush suit out of his pocket. Come on. Izuku. I'm coming. He stood up and saw Eri looking at the plush suit. Do you want to come too, Eri? Different. See, can I? Clara, of course. I want to play with you too. Smiled. As it would be an honor to play with Don, Izuku's daughter. He smiled. Different. Why yes, I want to go too, please. Izuku, okay. Let's go then. I'll carry her. Clara unzipped her suit, and Izuku and Eri entered, surprising Inko. Ink, wow, is it really that big on the inside? Asterisk. Clara's sad face saw Az enter, and then Inko and Ameri. Please wake us up in 2 hours. Ameri. Sure, and remember not to play such rough games with Eri. Clara nodded and got into the suit. Ink, how big is that suit on the inside? Ameri, I couldn't tell you, but let's just say it's very big. Ink. Oh. Ameri's sad face. She saw her. By the way, did you bring it with you? She asked, blushing. Ink's sad face smiled. Of course. Took a photo album out of her bag. More photos of Izuku as a baby and as a child. Ameri's eyes shone with excitement. To be continued. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and now we will see you in the next video.